Sound check, sound check. Yo, what's up guys? At medyo marami rin tayo ngayon no? Ilan ba viewers natin? Medyo hindi nag-update yung viewers sa akin eh. At yun nga guys, ano kasi ito ngayon, alam naman natin 'di ba? Araw ng mga puso. Kaya yung iba ay syempre kasama nila yung mga napupusuan nila. Pero ito guys ay pinush kasi nila itong AMA na to. So why not 'di ba? Tanggapin na natin itong AMA na to. At meron naman ng mga katulong dito guys. Maya pagka nabasa niya na live na tayo. Ngayon di ko pa makontak eh. Asan na ba yung mga kasama natin? Baka kumakain pa no. Pero ngayon guys ay ano lang natin. Shoutout lang tayo konti para din ay magkaroon tayo ng... Tapos sabihin nyo lang guys pag okay yung audio natin, sabihin nyo lang pag hindi okay yung audio natin. At magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. At yun nga sa may mga kasama dyan, sige lang, date lang kayo dyan. Sa may mga ka-date, sa mga walang ka-date guys ay manood na lang tayo ng live. Okay, yan. Ferdy Chavez, what's up sa'yo Ferdy Chavez? Good PM ShiboSan at sa mga ninja, sabi naman ni Ferdy. Pa-like naman guys, pa-like and share para naman pagkasampa ng pinaka natin, hindi masyado nakakaya, 'di ba? Syempre kahit Feb 14 ngayon ay madami pa rin tayong viewers para sa AMA na to at alam naman natin guys na manonosebleed tayo, 'di ba? Pero support lang din natin, ganun din naman tayo. At pagka gumanda naman itong project na to, so-support naman yung community. Pabalik naman sa atin, 'di ba? So ano lang to, give and take lang tayo guys. Ito naman ngayon ay sa Revolve Gamings. So bago natin tawagin yung pinaka-guest natin sa Revolve Games, ay pwede siguro tayong i-intro ko lang sa inyo yung project, 'di ba? Pero ngayon po ay shoutout na tayo konti. Si Fei Wu naman. Good PM mga ka-ninja, sabi ni Fei Wu. Good PM ShiboSan at sa mga ninjas Ferdy. At yun nga, parang paulit-ulit na itong comment dito sa nakikita ko dito sa screen. Good PM, sabi ni Linmar. Sydney Kato, kaiyak naman daw, mga walang kasama sa Feb 14. Kaiyak naman. So kasama siya doon sa naiyak. So ito guys FS Boss Idolo Linmar, yan. Good PM Boss Shibo and Ninjas. Good PM naman Gatnoldi. Good PM daw sa mga ninjas. Maya guys 2 minutes. Dito na pala siya si Anding Solis. At yan nga nag-comment na siya dito guys. At para na rin ay maka-intro na rin siya. At ma-soundcheck na rin natin yung mga kasama nating co-host. I-welcome naman natin Anding Solis dito sa stream natin guys. Ayan siya. Tignan natin kung okay yung audio. Yeah. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Ayan, okay yung audio niya guys. Kung din pasabi din kung hindi okay yung audio, kung mahina, para pagkatawag natin sa guest natin. So si Anding yung mga kasama natin guys. At yun nga, para hindi tayo masyadong manosebleed, di ba? At hindi tayo, para may energy tayo, tulungan tayo dito. So tumawag ako ng backup. Kasi medyo nakakapagod din, di ba? Tuloy-tuloy kang nagbabasa nitong mga questions, tapos tinitignan mo pa to. Tapos manonosebleed ka pa, tapos Feb 14 pa. Sabi nga ng iba, nakakaiyak daw yung iba kasi wala silang kasama. Pero okay lang yan, mag-live stream pa rin tayo. 27 viewers at umangat mga 30 plus na yata sa iba. Hindi lang masyadong nag-update to. At yan nga si Anding. Hello, Anding.
Yes, good evening,
Kumusta
boss.
ka naman?
And good evening, mga ninjas. I'm okay, I'm fine.
Oh, fine lang daw siya guys. Okay ba yung audio na? Paano nga ng audio na kung mahina ba or malakas? Lakas ako konti Tignan natin. So yun guys shoutout lang tayo konti bago natin tawagin yung guest natin at habang nagpaparami tayo ng viewers at baka magkaroon tayo ng giveaway, di ba? Ito pala guys, iba pala yung giveaway nila dun sa Twitter nila at iba din yung giveaway natin dito naman sa atin. So kanya-kanyang giveaway pala to. So bahala sa giveaway nila kasi nagpa-raffle din sila sa winners nila sa tawag dito sa Twitter. Magandang gabi mga boss, sabi naman ni Sixtos. Magandang gabi Coach Andeng. Magandang gabi daw, sabi ni Lenmar. Sa'yo Cornelius, good evening Sir Shibo, sabi ni Cornelius. Si Sofia Plays, good evening boss. Good evening sa Sofia. Si Zel naman at ito si Elhera. At mamaya ay ipapatik away ko to kay Andeng pagkasampa ng guest natin at siya na nga bahala, tutustahin niya guys. Pero meron na mga nakahandang mga questions galing na din sa community natin, di ba? Naglapag tayo ng form, so yun lang din yung mga question na yun. At meron pinakamatinding question dun guys ay hindi daw niya alam yung game, ngayon lang niya may rinig yung game. Pero ang pinaka question niya doon sa form, may giveaway kaya? Yun po yung pinaka-question niya. Di ko alam kung nanonood yan, no? Pero wala siyang pakialam sa game, in short. Ang pakialam niya, may giveaway kaya. Happy Valentine's Day, sabi naman ni Sophia Plays. Yo, what's up, what's up? Sana all may ka-date, sabi ni MCM. At yun nga guys, sabi ni Sophia, ano ba yung Valentine's Day sa kanya? Ay work daw all day. So okay lang yan, Sophia. Ay pagka naman ay bumunga na yung mga work mo all day, ay magkakaroon ka rin ng, di ba, rest day din naman. Gandang gabi, Boss Shibo. Happy Valentine's galing ka Erwin. So shoutout pala sa wife ni Erwin, ay Happy Valentine's galing ka Erwin. Like and share naman dan kay Gatnoli. Si Elhera naman, boss. Paisko, Axie. Axie Axie daw, anding. Paisko daw. Tumigil na yung mga scholar sa Axie. Kailan po token yan? Meron na tong token ito, hello? So, halo sabi kay Troj. Meron tong token, mamaya ay tanong natin kung anong token ito Ano to? Nag-excuse lang pala si Anding Nag-excuse lang siya. Good PM, boss ShiboSan at sa mga ninjas, sabi naman ni Ferdy. Uy, bumalik na ulit yung comment. Ano to? Ba't mo nga balik-balik? Si auto-scroll natin guys So, pasensya na kung hindi kayo matawag. Slow rag tong game na to Sabi niya, ni Axie Gods daw, slow rag daw yung game na to. Kahit wala pang nangyayari para sa kanya, slow rag na kaagad. Malino naman audio, sabi ni Arvin. Ito naman, anong network to, boss? Multi-network to. Sa ngayon, alam ko meron siyang BSC at Polygon network. Sobrang baba man itong coin na to Kaya pa ba to umangat? Hindi ibig sabihin na sobrang baba. Merong mga coin na sobrang baba pa, like adamant, like monks, di ba? Sobrang baba pero ngayon umangat. So kung ang alam mo is Axie lang, hindi ka pa wala ka pang kabuhang-buhang sa mundo ng crypto, okay? Bumababa naman talaga. Okay? Magandang gabi, Boss Shibo, at Valentine's po sa lahat. Watch out sa wifey ko, Boss BJ, ito. Nagpapapansin lang pala daw siya. So, effective yung pagpapapansin niya, guys. Ay napansin naman si Axie Gods. So, yan yung siya na-sponsor. Uy, sponsored! Si Ferdy Chavez naging member na. At yun nga. Welcome sa pagiging joining dito sa stream, ay sa channel natin, Ferdy. At meron lang tayong 7 minutes guys para mag-shoutout bago natin tawagin yung guest natin. At ito nga, 38 na tayo, going up pa. Sana umabot tayo ng 100, no? Pa-like naman guys, pa-share naman kahit na ngayon ay Valentine's Day sa lahat, sabi ni Linmar. At kahit nga yun yung araw ngayon guys, ay sana ay mayroon pa ring manood sa atin, di ba? Alam naman natin busy lahat sa mga kanya-kanyang mga ka-date. Yan. Si Jackie Sue, Happy Valentine's sa lahat, sabi ni Jackie Sue. Good evening, Boss Shibo. Happy Hearts Day po, sabi ni JP Kiambao. Salamat po, Ferdy Chavez. Good evening, Boss Shibs. Ito, greetings from Bali. Yan ba yung pagbigkas yan? Bali. Good evening, Boss Shibs. Greetings from Bali. Sabi naman ni Jeff. Good evening, Sir Jeff. Okay naman yung bumaba para may chance kami mag-pump niyan. Kasi kung puro angat ay wala na yan. Tuda mo na yan. Hindi na babalik sa atin yan pag puro angat na lang yung token. Okay naman yung bumababa, sabi ni Sydney Cato. Wash out, Boss Shibs, sabi ni AG Collection. Chicago, happy V-Day, no holiday. Bukas pasahod kina Chicago, so no holiday for today. Spanish or Nguyen ba devs nito, boss? Hindi, iba. Ano to, halo to. Meron dito Asian, meron dito Western, more on Western to, kaya hindi masyado sikat dito sa atin. Pero umangat na matindi yung token nito galing sa sobrang baba basta sobrang baba to last time tapos umangat. Kaso ako nakabenta ako sa mababa. Siyempre kailangan take profit when happy, di ba? So happy na tayo doon, nag-take profit ako konti. Welcome pala, Linmar ito. Galing ka relax. Hey guys, how it's going? Nothing's going on right now. 5 minutes more before we introduce our guest for tonight. May happy birthday ngayon. Dami nakapula. Dami ba nakapula? May birthday ba daw? Sabi ni MCM. At siya lang hindi nakakalam kung birthday ba nila. Pero dami daw nakapula. Wash out sa wifey ko. Ito, tapos na to. Red Driven, balikan lang natin yung iba. Andiyan na ba si Anding? Sana mag-guess si Andongis. Huwag muna ngayon sa ibang usapan na Dennis. Baka ano eh. Baka kakaiba mangyari sa AMA natin eh. Baka dumungis yung AMA natin. May pag-giveaway, may giveaway kaya sabi naman ni Linmar. Ito, Gatnoli, Andeng, and Andong. Tandem no sa mga AMA, pwede, Gatnoli. Wash out po, Shivs. Ito, let's go. Malinaw naman audio, sabi naman ni ano. Malinaw naman daw yung audio. Okay, good evening, sabi ni Dennis. Anong network to, boss? Yan, ito yung kanina, no? So, binabalikan lang natin konti. English po ko na yung dollar. Ngayon pala, oo nga eh. Kaya tayo medyo nagre-ready na, medyo kinakabahan na tayo. Baka dumugo yung nosebleed. Matindi. Andyan na yata si Anding eh. Tama lang yung iniwan ng marketplace bullshit. ROI muna bago ROI muna bago ang bayan. O, ikaw naman ang namuhunan, hindi sila. Oh, okay naman daw sabi ni Sydney Cato. Great project, Bushibs. Investors since September after your first review. Oo, nag-review ako nito dati eh. So kung gusto nyo mapanood, meron tayong review niyan. At ready ka na ba, Andeng, para tawagin yung guest natin for tonight? Sino pala guest natin? Wait lang, tignan ko yung pangalan. Okay ka na ba? Ayan, ako muna tatawag So para Uy, wala siya dito Umalis. Hintayin natin guys Nawala eh. Kinabahan siguro, nalaman may co-host pala ako. Oo. Magandang gabi sa lahat ng may date. Sa mga wala, sanay naman kayo siguro. Appear na lang tayo. Sabi naman ni Medyo Pogi. Sanay naman kayo na wala, di ba? Bakit ngayon is maghahanap kayo eh? Sanay naman daw kayo. So yun guys, pa-like and share naman tong stream natin. At tutulungan nga ako ni Andeng magtanong dito sa foreigner na to. Siyempre foreigner sa atin at sila naman foreigner tayo sa kanila. Pero pinagbigyan yung community natin guys. At hindi man ganun kalaki yung community natin, pinagbigyan pa rin naman nila. Diba? At ito nga, tignan ko kung andito na siya. Wait, may message ko. Sabihin ko, okay, let's go. Saan ka na? Nawala eh, nagpatay ng mic eh. O yan, si Bora Bora, andito si Bora Bora. Sabi naman ni Bora Bora, let's go Bushibs. Ayan na siya guys So tatawagin ko na para maumpisa na natin tong AMA for tonight. Let me introduce you to our guest for tonight. We have Soren, and he is the CMO of Revolve Games or Chief Marketing Officer of Revolve Games. Bakit ayaw lumabas yung pangalan niya? Okay, hello, Soren.
Hey, ShiboSan. Good evening, guys. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be participating to this interesting AMA. And excited to dive in. Thank you.
Okay, I have here Andeng Solis. She gonna help me do the questions and do the AMA. Okay, so we can have we can cater a lot of questions. Let's do this in a fast-paced manner, and we're gonna start right away. Okay, so first I'm gonna do the question. Of course, please introduce yourself and the team. And okay, go ahead, please.
Thank you. So I'm Soren, as you know, the Chief Marketing Officer at Revolve Games. Just a few words about myself as well. I'm very early adopter of crypto, 2013, 2014, early investor in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I'm also a big kind of believer in this crypto movement in general, that especially also Bitcoin is going to be at least with other currencies as well as a competing currency. That's my kind of understanding of the future that lies for Bitcoin and the main currencies. Basically, about our team, Revolve Games has partnered with Dutch Gaming Studio. It is a powerhouse of creativity and innovation in gaming. So we have kind of banded together with a team of over 12 full-time game developers that are focused solely on building the Revolve Games metaverse. We have also a quite big 150k plus strong gamers and investors community. And also Fauzi is both co-founder of Revolve Games and also the owner of Dutch Game Studio. So we basically merged these two companies together to build out the vision of Revolve Games. And also our other notable partners include Ferrum Network, Chromia, Chainlink, Blockchain Gaming Alliance Network, Crypto.com, Lossless, Tryhard, Hololut, and many more other exciting companies as well. Thank you.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank you so much, Surin. And for our next question, so I know the people, I know the audience already dig in some of your info in the website. So let's proceed with the game info this time, and then we're gonna ask the first questions.
Okay.
Yes. Good evening to you, Mr. Soren. For the first
Good
question is, can you introduce the game? What is the game's genre and the gameplay? Is a Revolve game a game, or is just a platform for games?
Very interesting question. Thank you very much. So basically, Revolve Games, at Revolve Games, we aim to not only be a thought leader and gaming kind of studio in blockchain gaming in general, but also we want to provide a platform for other gaming studios or blockchain kind of gaming projects to somehow create and integrate with Revolve Games so that we enhance the user's gaming experience. So our team is currently working on a multitude of projects. So including RPG staking tethered NFT assets, which we launched back in January 17. We are working also on Bones and Blade, our multiplayer card game, and also Celestium, that's gonna be our MMORPG flagship game, plus Metaverse. So let me briefly introduce each of those exciting projects that we're working on. So concerning RPG staking tethered NFT assets, it is kind of the requirement for actionable NFTs. For example, the characters, the spaceships, etc., that we're going to have in our game Celestium to have an underlying stake of RPGs, so that this actionable NFT is gonna be underlined with their proportional stakes of RPGs in our ecosystem. So this means that in order to generate a character or spaceship in this particular example, that you will be able basically to use in Revolve Games ecosystem, you need to stake RPG tokens. Without staking the RPG tokens, you won't be able to participate in Revolve Games ecosystem. So the idea to stake tethered NFTs formed from the concept that NFTs in a gaming environment should have some grounded kind of fungible value that is measurable, as we feel that this provides a pathway for long-term sustainability, expansion, and longevity of our project, and underlying play-to-earn concept as well. So some interesting concepts that arise from staking our tethered NFTs include the following, like a positive feedback loop. First one, I could say, as like our player base grows, more RPG will be obviously locked up in the staking contracts, which potentially can create a positive price feedback loop, where demand for RPG steadily increases while the circulating supply steadily decreases. And secondly, we will have also performance-based reward system. So since our NFTs are connected to an underlying staking contract, we are able to reward players with higher annual percentage yields, APYs, based on their performance. So it's done through different methods, including but not limited to levels and booster system that we have embedded in our weighted staking system. So concerning Bones and Blade game, it's gonna be a multiplayer card game that is currently in development. Hopefully will be completed sometime this month. So we are building an exciting Bones and Blade card game as an interim product that we utilized the NFTs mentioned in the previous section, so that our users are able to level up their character and obtain the necessary boosters for their characters. And if you want to check out how this levels and booster system works, I can share this link quickly with you.
Yeah, sure. You can share your screen if you want, so you can show it.
1 sec. Let me quickly open that on my end and share my screen 1 second. So that's basically our machinations model. So it's the core conceptual model that will help everyone understand. Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, there are odds that we will have two options: either you will win or lose. But we are trying to create as favorable environment as possible so that players feel motivated to play. So as you can see, there is a 40% chance that the players will get small booster. There's also 5% chance that the players will get a medium booster and 1% chance that you might get a large booster. So given the weighted staking formula of how your staking rewards in the overall weighted pool increase, it's the biggest component is the boosters. So as you can see, we are quite kind of favorable for the players. Just 40% for small and 5% for medium is going to be huge. Especially as I told, boosters are going to be the highest component that will drive up your weighted points in the whole ecosystem, and that will be ideally converted into a higher amount of RPGs, which you can restake or cash out. So whatever is your preference. Thank you very much. I will.
So this is only a part of your game. So the first game will be a card game, right?
Yeah. So this is actually part of the card game. So this is the booster system. These people who are active in the card game are gonna get booster points, which will be a part of that formula. So the formula is the multiplicative combination of three things. The first one is the level that you reach in the game. The second one is the boosters points, and the third one is the stake RPG points that you have. So obviously, the higher each of these components, the higher will be your weighted average stake in the pool. So it's gonna be a points-based weighted average staking pool versus the other players. So the higher your weight goes versus the others, the higher will be your rewards, obviously. And also, as you are just sharing on your screen, this is our recently launched staking tethered NFT assets generation platform. So the minimum amount here is 1 RPG and the maximum is 10,000 RPGs. So right now people can enjoy higher returns, like high APYs if they stake here. So this is one of the pre-requirements as well. You need to be staking at least one NFT like asset, so you will be able to play our games.
So you can start. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can start from here even with only one RPG, right?
Only one RPG, yes.
I will try now. So like you have three characters here. So this is
Well,
the
we have three
NFTs.
character races. Yeah, we have three character races there. Desin, Turgle, and Aegon, and each of them has their own unique traits. So we are using also Chainlink VRF system to assign random traits to our characters. So when you press that button, you will see now the system will assign random traits to the character, and then depending on the rarity score that each of the staking operation takes, you're gonna randomly generate a bit more or a bit less rare character, and based on the rarity score, your APY will be considerably higher or lower, depending on how rare your character is. So let's see.
So
Sometimes some ad blockers are, yeah, sometimes
how many RPG do you think so I can get the best character? What number you think?
So initially we had even 60-70%, but I think just the last round of the stakings that I did myself as well for our community, at least 40%. So like you can expect 40%. I think these are some blockers. Like sometimes some ad blockers are kind of need sometimes to clean the cache. That's the only kind of reason, I guess.
Okay, maybe it's just the the bug of the website. So while we're waiting for this, let's proceed to follow up the questions, because we have established that you need in order for you to start in game.
Let me quickly continue where I left after the machinations model. Basically, I wanted to talk about our most exciting project that's gonna be revolutionary as well. It's a Celestium metaverse. So Celestium is gonna be an MMORPG metaverse that will bring together all our different ideas into one product. So we are honestly really excited because we have begun expanding also our new team. We have new game designer, balancer, and a very talented concept artist who was previously working for AAA, multiple AAA games as well. And we hope to bring on board a team of game developers as well for Celestium. We have yet to reveal the documentation, so we are kind of in the finalization stage of the documentation for Celestium. But we are sure that it's gonna be very epic game. So in Celestium, players will be able to acquire resources, explore new worlds, like join guilds, fight monsters, and interact with different users. So the same characters used in the card game, as like this Bones and Blade card game that we're just discussing, the Machinations model, they will also be able to load those characters into the Celestium, and players will be able to earn higher staking rewards through that gameplay. As well as finding myriad of economical opportunities, including like mining resources, forging weapons, training players, and much more that we're gonna introduce in this Celestium metaverse. So this is gonna be very exciting and revolutionary, I think.
Okay, can we?
Yeah, these are some of our 3D.
Yeah. So this is the other game. This is the other game other than the card game, but we're using the same assets that you've generated and tethered with the same staking of RPG, right?
Exactly. So these are gonna be our characters from the Celestium metaverse. So people will be able to also stake these unique NFTs like monsters. So for example, this one is Frark. Like this is the most popular, most upvoted one, Hippo Ape, and this is a very unique design by our new AAA game artist. That girl with the wolf. Yeah, exciting designs from the scratch.
Yeah,
And
to
you can
follow up,
obviously see a lot of developments happening, right? We started with the basic characters as you showed on the website. Then we moved into these high quality kind of 3D rigged models. Also this nice visualization of the girl with spaceship. So all like is going towards the AAA standards. So we're trying to get to the AAA gaming standards, obviously. So this one is also very exceptional design. So yeah, we're really grinding it out to get the best results for our community.
Okay, dang.
All right. So thank you so much for introducing the game, and it is really a platform, right? A platform for a games, for some games that you are going to produce in the future, right?
Yeah, so it's currently our staking tethered NFTs that ShiboSan just introduced us. It's available for generation on the Binance Smart Chain. Also, basically our Bones and Blade multiplayer card game is scheduled to arrive within this month. So we are planning by the end of this month to launch this game. So you will be able definitely to use your staked NFT assets, jump on our Bones and Blade multiplayer card game, and as I showed the Machinations model,
I have my character now.
Sorry?
Oh, amazing.
I have my character. Can you see?
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so as you can see, as I promised, like at least 40%. So right now you got 45.62%. The rarity score is quite high, 5. And yeah. And you will be earning kind of passive income until we launch the card game. So, I mean, you can keep it, but it doesn't make sense, right? It's like most of the players are excited to play the game, and as you can see, different kind of systems are contributing together to form this weighted average staking pool points. So as you can see, level boosters points, so the multiplicative effect of these components is forming the weighted average stake that you will have in the shared pool with other players. So then based on your stake, you will get proportional rewards in RPG.
Can I add more RPG to this character?
To that character, no, but you can re-roll, meaning that if you don't like, if you think that you re-roll and you will get better maybe character with higher APY, so you can hit the re-roll button. There's gonna be some fees, like 2% re-roll fee there, and also some small fees for unstaking as well. So basically we allow right now a fixed amount of staking. Let's say you stake once, you will have to keep it. You can't kind of flexibly add more, but you can stake as many characters as you want. It's just minimum amount of staking is 1 RPG, and the maximum is 10,000 RPG, which is huge. If you consider basically 10,000 RPG right now is around, I guess, $2,500 given the current token price.
Now I got level 4 rarity.
Awesome.
So from 5, I got 4 now because I reroll. What happened if I unstake?
Sorry?
What happened if I unstake this character?
You will get a little bit of fee. I mean, 2-3% fee for unstaking. It's just mostly the chain fee to perform the transaction, and then your tokens will be kind of.
And the character will
reimbursed.
die.
Yeah, and you will not have characters, so obviously you want to keep the character to play the game, basically.
Okay, let's proceed with the question then.
Okay.
Yeah, so for another question is because we're like
Oh,
interested
I'm
in
sorry. I
this
think
game.
I didn't answer. Completely to this question.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all right. Okay, on
Yeah.
what
So we
blockchain
are planning.
network?
Yeah. So let me continue. So we are planning to integrate all our services using the latest, our latest partner, Chromia. So we're going to utilize Chromia Originals as well for this. So Chromia is providing optimal layer 2 solution,
Yeah.
especially as we build towards our multiplayer role
This
play game.
Chromia, right? This Chromia.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, of course.
That's the
As one of
blockchain.
our core partners. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, so Chromia is one of our partners. And also we expect the Celestium Metaverse to be available only on PC, but hope to kind of make it available like at least light version on mobile as well. That's
Yeah, when you say PC, it's a application on the PC, right?
yeah, it's gonna be application on the PC. So at least the first MVP version of Bones and Blade card game will be a web version. So we'll be having the web version. So any mobile that supports web will be able to play as well.
Okay, let's
Card
proceed
game.
with the other one. That answered the question then.
Yes. And what do we need before we start? We can start playing the game. And how much is the minimum investment on this one?
Great question. So before starting to play the game, you will need to stake Tethered NFT assets, basically using our native RPG token. And the minimum there is 1 RPG. And as I already mentioned, maximum is 10,000 RPGs, 10K RPGs as a max.
Yeah, that already answered the earlier part. Okay, next
Yes.
one.
Right. What type of assets can we build on our lands?
Yeah, exciting question. So we plan to do a land sale in the coming few months, actually. And we would love to share some preliminary kind of details about what you can do in our Revolve Games land. So we envision land to be an addendum to the gameplay that the Celestium as an MMORPG provides. So however, we describe some of the more specific landowner functions or benefits as follows. Like basically landowners will have access to more resources through mining. So mining buildings will allow players to produce and mine resources, and then the resources will depend also on the biome, the piece of the land it is located in. I think ShiboSan was earlier sharing, the biomes that we currently have. So depending on the biome and the rarity of the biome, obviously you will have different higher or lower benefits. So housing on land serves a few purposes. The first is that players who rent or buy houses become the citizens of that land and are able to access certain facilities depending on their position within the land. So warehousing provides storage facilities to users on their land, so you are kind of forced to visit central stage units available in the city whenever their storage is full. So research facilities allow landowners to unlock new resources, technology, and buildings. So landowners will also have a safe haven against war. So by war we mean a PvP kind of concept idea that we may expand later down in development. So we are planning also to add different marketing and product opportunities, obviously, for businesses and users alike. So we are working on creating this kind of a VR to reality sales model, such that landowners will not only be able to buy and sell NFTs, but also real world items that will be attached to those NFTs, those other assets. So finally, in the case in which you are not sure what to do with your land, we are also able kind of to plan or make your land available for rent. So this means that you will be able to earn a passive income purely from owning a piece of prime property, basically.
Yeah, if
Amazing.
someone is using that land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about
so even for passive players, so we want to provide as many rewards as possible. Obviously, that we have a lot of mechanics, as you noticed in Machinations model as well. Like the more you play, the higher will be the boosters. So like 40% to get the small booster, 5% medium, and even 1% to get the highest booster. So it definitely will make sense for people to play. I mean, I'm sure it will be only a small percentage of people who probably mostly don't have time, or yeah, something like that. That's why they want to earn passive income, but we thought about them as well. So we're trying to keep game as active as possible, so we'll offer them extra benefits to rent out to their land to the active players, so the land is always kind of in a play mode.
Yeah, so I can see here that there's an APY. So what they're saying is the land will you can earn on the land. You can earn passively on the land. How about your characters? Do you need to play to activate this APY, or this can earn
Correct.
you passively? And what will be the benefits of playing more than having a passive income?
Great
Correct.
questions. Okay, so let me tell you, as of the right at this moment, let's say some of our viewers might be excited to jump on the platform and start staking. So right now, at least until let's say the card game is launched, which we are planning to launch by the end of this month. So you will be rewarded these RPG tokens. It doesn't matter you play or not. Basically, you can't play because obviously the game is not live yet, but you will definitely be able to cash out, also receive your RPG tokens if you start staking right at this moment. So, but then when the game starts and basically more people join the pool of players, so depending on how active it becomes, this APY is this, like in other games, is gonna change as well, right? It might go a little bit up, a little bit down. But basically the plan is that we're gonna allow users, at least in the early stages, to claim their APY in form of our native RPG token. Yeah, overall that's the idea. And I think you asked one more question, right, ShiboSan?
Yeah. What is the difference of just taking your character here and playing more in game?
Very
So
good
what can you
question.
get?
Yeah.
What can you get in game if you play more?
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so basically that we are going back to the staking weighted average points formula that we have introduced, the very unique formula introduced by our team. So basically, given the combination and the multiplicative effect of these components, that is the staking amount. Let's say you have staked maximum 10,000 RPGs, and then it will be multiplied by your level that you have gained in the Bones and Blade card game, or in another kind of Celestium card, metaverse that you're gonna play, and then multiply by the boosters. So the more you play, also the higher the chances, as I showed you, 40% chance for getting small booster, 5% for medium, and 1% for highest booster, largest booster. So it definitely makes more sense to play. I mean, if you compare yourself with the player, they're gonna earn multiple times higher rewards than you sitting idle, even renting out your land. So obviously the mechanics are built so that definitely players will be actively playing and kind of earning rewards. So it's basically the multiplier of these three components. So obviously it makes sense for you to play because each of these components is gonna form the points, which will be compared to the shared pool of other players. And then the higher your rank compared to the ranking we have with other players, the higher will be your RPG rewards at the end of the day, basically.
Yeah, what you're talking about is like the card game, right? So what can you gain in the Celestium when the Celestium come out? Like after you mine the resources, what can you do with the resources? What can you do with the monsters that you killed in game?
Okay.
Please.
As at the moment, to be honest, like we're still finalizing the kind of documentation and the gameplay mechanics there. But as I told, like the most important things that we can tell right now is that you are basically able to mine the resources. You are able to rent out your land. You are able to kind of unlock new technology, like new resource technologies and buildings. You will have also some sort of transformable devices that will quickly transform you, like a spaceship or that type of quick device that will transform you from one environment, from one planet into another planet. So that all of these kind of exciting features is gonna be, at least in the MVP model, the very first model that will be launched for the Celestium. Yeah, and also as depending on the biomes that you select the land, obviously you will get either high or low APY for the Celestium.
All right. Thank you so much, Deng.
Okay, another question is, what is the token utility in this game or in this platform that we have? Is it
Okay,
RPG only?
that's a great question. So as we discussed previously, our native token is RPG, so that will be required to be staked into NFTs, right? So in order for you to be able to play the game, you need to stake obviously some RPG tokens, but fundamentally without holding our token in the form of a stake or alone, it would not be possible to enjoy our products and services. So we are also planning to further increase token utilization in the future, and are in the early stages of conceptualizing some in-game currency-backed potential by RPG as well. But these are kind of just only idea stage thoughts. Basically, yeah, as I earlier mentioned, if basically players pool starts taking more RPG, and we're not gonna burn any RPG tokens. That's other important thing there as well. So that meaning the supply will steadily decrease, and also the given the pool increase, the supply of the RPG available for other players will decrease as well, creating positive demand for RPG tokens and ultimately increasing the price of RPG token. So there are different models. Like first one is the staking, and the second one no burn. So meaning that it's fixed, then the demand supply will shape up the price.
Okay, Ding.
Okay. All right. So what's your plan in sustaining the game for long term? Because as you
Okay.
speak about the utility token and then the possible
Yeah,
downside of the
and to follow up that, what's the burning mechanism? So it's incorporated of sustaining the game, right?
yes,
Yeah,
correct.
that's let me quickly start as I finished as I stopped last time on the burning. So we currently don't have any existing burn mechanism. So it means that rather by requiring players to lock their RPG staking contracts for generating these staking Tether NFT characters, we're able to reduce the circulating supply, right? So this that kind of potentially creates a positive feedback loop. So when more users are looking to use our platform, so that total like RPG stake in the weighted average staking pool will continue to increase, so that it will drive also the RPG price. So that's the answer to the ShiboSan's question of burn.
Mm.
And considering the future plans, sorry, but was the future sustainable future, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I think it's coming back to this idea. So the idea that we introduced is this staking tethered NFTs, because so should have some grounded fungible value that is measurable, and as we feel that this will provide also a pathway for long-term sustainable expansion of the project and underlying play to earn concept. So these two things, critical things that we're thinking will drive the positive impact, will create a positive impact for us, are positive feedback loop and a performance-based reward system. So we discussed this kind of formula that you need to grind it out really. So the players who are really grinding it out will get the higher weighted average staking coefficient and the overall weighted average staking pool. And then this positive feedback loop is that the RPG will be locked up actually into the system. Basically, without locking the RPG and generating your staked NFT asset, you won't be able to play the game. So we are expecting this gonna be quite huge, epic grow in our current even huge number of gamers, so that more and more gamers will start staking RPGs, so that driving down the supply as there's no burn, and then the price will ultimately go up as well. So at the moment we are also kind of finalizing game mechanics, but given kind of some interesting revolutionary approaches there is this taking NFT Tether asset generation and this unique formula that's a multiplier of different components that's gonna be sustaining our gameplay in the long term sustainable future basically.
It's like considering we are still on the early stage, so people should stake, 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 so that
Yeah,
more
it's still
NFTs
a
to be
very high.
generated.
And honestly, our token is also doing quite well if you compare with other metaverse tokens. I mean, daily, weekly, monthly performances. Sometimes we're even up, while Mana and other sandbox tokens, decentralized tokens, were down. So if you consider that as well, we're quite strong. We're actually above average by our RPG token performance. So I mean, it is not a financial advice, as you know, but basically I think it's worth to
Mm.
the stake because we just recently launched, and as ShiboSan just displayed on the screen, it's quite high and lucrative kind of APY. So it really makes sense for uh, especially our players, right? If they want to get extra benefits, which we are happy to give away. So I mean, to give in terms of the staking, so they will be able to stake right now before like in 2-3 weeks our game will be ready. So they will jump on the card game and start playing
Mm.
basically.
And actually, I can see the difference on other NFT games. There is the
Mhm.
minting. On here, it's on more on staking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we were actively analyzing also like the vulnerabilities, the longevity and sustainability of our other projects as well. So that's why we came up with this unique machinations model, as I showed, with like booster points, like coefficients, and also randomizing the trades. So a lot of mechanics are using the best in the existing current industry, like given the leaders that is provided by Chainlink BRF, that's provided by Chromia Original. So we're literally trying to build a AAA game with the latest kind of cutting edge technology that is available. So that basically ultimately our biggest goal is that our players feel very valued, and also that they feel that they are getting as favorable and as kind of fair rewards as possible. Basically, fairness and favorability are the cores of our
Correct.
long-term sustainability.
Yes. I can see it's more fair to me if I'm going to
Yeah.
invest on this one and I'm a player. Minting is quite different than staking, and staking is profitable than minting because after minting, you sell it in the marketplace.
Yeah,
Unlike on
exactly.
here, you
So
stake
actually,
and you
we're
earn.
also gonna, yeah, we're gonna have also the marketplace as well in a very near future. It's just not that we couldn't create marketplace and follow that standard approach as well. It's just we are trying to redefine the GameFi industry by creating a new mechanics that will make players feel more valued. I mean, feel more engaged to play the game. Basically, we're definitely in the cutting edge there, trying to create something from the scratch that I believe none of the business is done in this exact same way. That's definitely not,
Mm.
yeah, not the
All
same.
right.
But you
So
know,
another
this image is like
question.
we are also in the private land sale right now, but it's like,
Oh.
yeah, that's why this is nice design is land sale. So these are these designs are showing what kind of economics, tokenomics we have on the land. As I mentioned about mining, different types of buildings, yeah, barracks and other stuff. So most of it is still in the finalization stage, but we are in a very kind of limited private land sale stage right now, working with our
Oh.
private investors. Yeah, that's also something that's ongoing, and we are expecting in a few months to start public land sale as well. Currently, I think, given the replies that we're getting, we're oversold. Basically, we're getting a lot of positive feedbacks, a lot of private investors already invested. So
Mm.
yeah, we're very
To,
optimistic. It's
to
gonna be
follow up these
Amazing.
questions, to follow up the question about this land,
Bland.
you will be having a whitelisting sale for this land or pre-sale, right?
We will, yeah, we are currently
Oh,
honestly, but so what information I'm allowed at the moment was like, I was going to say we're gonna be in a few months, like in a public sale, but basically this design here, it shows it's for private investors, like very limited private investors who previously invested with us, like in our token, with other projects that we launched. So we are very active working only with this very limited pool of private investors, but we are very happy to do also public launch of the land sale that's going to happen very soon, sometime this year. Obviously, in a couple of months, we're going to introduce that as well.
I'm gonna follow up another very selfish questions about this land. Are you gonna give us? Are you gonna give me a spot for this land sale for my
Yeah.
community?
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
A
honestly.
Now
private.
we will be very excited, like to whitelist you, Shibo-san. So definitely, I will check with the size and given the amounts we have. But definitely, we will provide you
Yeah,
opportunity, like
I'm happy with
to
that answer. We
the
can
land.
proceed now.
All right. Another follow-up
Yeah,
question
but
about the land.
honestly, this land is a huge. Like, thank you for mentioning. Like, it's obviously oversold, so it's like our community as well. Very excited to start buying the land. So and that's why we're at some point even thinking we might be oversold at the end as well. So we will have to kind of find some other ways to kind of utilize and help. But definitely, I will keep in touch with you as an early kind of partner with us, or like just provide you more information
Amazing.
so you can get the land.
Okay. Last question about the land. If I can't buy a land, can I rent on it?
Oh yeah,
Can
yeah,
I
that's
have
an
a
excellent
rent?
question. So basically, yeah, definitely. So we're gonna have different land renting options there, like so that even the passive players will feel somehow valued as well. But anyways, as much as in terms of the earning potential is definitely different if you rent the land versus you actively play, right? So meaning that another player might pay you a bit kind of for the renting, but then start utilizing your land, and you might end up kind of seeing that this guy earns more, which is I think fair because he's really grinding it out, right? So we need to be a little bit realistic there to expect that, not that you will get obviously the same benefits, but at least as a passive player as well, you can always utilize and get kind of RPG tokens out of your land. If you don't have time to play, or you're thinking just to be passively there are a lot of options there as well.
Yeah. How long is the estimated return of investment for an average player?
Average. Oh, okay. Great question. Let me check on that one. Because
Yeah,
it's a
if you're
little
an
bit.
average
Yeah.
player, you
No, no.
don't
That's
have
so
the
we
land.
yeah. So given the dynamic nature of our reward system, it is difficult really to kind of estimate a specific time frame for this for answering this question. But however, we would like to state that at Revolve Games we value our users' time. And in return for their time, we hope to provide like long-lasting value, like for every single user in the form of entertainment, fun, memories, experiences, so through very rich game content. So we do realize that all things come to the end, and hope that players who move on will see a return on investment, not only on their RPG but also on their time spent on our game. So we're gonna introduce some type of mechanics that will definitely provide additional values for those people who basically spend more time grinding it out, like spend more time on the game. So yeah, I think it's gonna be one of the fairest games and most rewarding ones, like, compared to what we have in the P2E ecosystem now.
All right. Okay, how do you handle the pump and dump of whales and other organizations?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also a great question. So we are consistently, basically in contact with our earliest investors, and we have laid out also some well thought tokenomic release structures as of now as well. So currently, you can be comfortable that we are obviously trying to control it, given the latest kind of developments. We are actively following with our investors and other experts to control it under the limits. So pumping and dumping, as you know, is one of those tricky things and to define as well as deal
Yes.
with. So while we have put into place some measures that stop trading bots, for example, from predatory trading, let's say front running, snipping, etc. With regards to swing trading, we also feel that coupled with the basic principles of decentralization, unless basically a specific investor or trader prevents other users from enjoying our services, we don't see it to fit or morally correct to cease and desist such actions. Rather, we prefer to focus on working on production development and turn traders into hodlers. So on the flip side, we do have plans, however, to smoothen liquidity procurement through partnerships with different market makers as well. So as we start working with different exchanges, so the users will be able to easily procure RPG for their respective needs. So on the one hand, we are trying to introduce some mechanics. On the other hand, we are trying to work with some sort of exchanges, market makers, to increase our liquidity overall in the circulation.
All right. Okay. So what are the safety and security measures of the game?
Oh, that's another great question.
Yeah.
Let me quickly. Yeah, so the most obvious safety and security feature of our game comes in the fact that all our assets, like basically the ownership of our assets belongs on the blockchain. So what does it mean is that unless there is a kind of a failure in the overarching system, that is 51% attack, our users' assets will be ledgered onto on a blockchain, right? So onto the blockchain. In the case where any blockchain server integration is required, we will undertake the scrutinization of some of the most experienced game security services providers in the market and make sure all kind of security concerns are dealt with prior to the launch of the game. So as I told, we are in a very close contact with cybersecurity experts as well. So we're even before the game is launched, basically we have right now as well introduced a lot of security measures, but we are sure that this is something of a big concern, as also the hackers and that this industry also grows quite fast. So we are trying to always keep an eye open and keep up with the latest standards to ensure the highest security level for our community.
All right. A while ago, well, like in early, okay, I have seen this staking, and then the claiming of the reward will be like 30 days of waiting, right?
At the moment, so basically until the game is launched, that's, let's say, preliminary by the end of this month. You can you can stake for 30 days, but even after that as well, it will just be a little bit change the mechanics, but you will be able basically to get your reward. So for 30 days you will be able to claim your rewards. So the period for claiming rewards is 40 days basically.
Oh, not every day.
No, not every day at the moment. Yeah, it's just
Nice. This is not an Oracle system, right?
sorry.
Not an Oracle system.
No. It is again quite unique. Our developers developed it from the scratch, and as I told you, so these trades that ShiboSan just generated is using Chainlink's VRF technology, is very new cutting-edge technology that's randomizing the trades assignments. So we are trying to be as fair as possible, so that basically this system by itself, the algorithms that are there, we don't have any control. It just randomly assigns the trades. As you notice, like ShiboSan got 5 rarity score in the first round, and then second round was like rarity score 4. So it's all out of any central server control. It's just all based on this decentralized VRF technology.
Yeah, to follow up this to follow up this topic, we have a stake character here. Someone asked from the chat is, how will the progress be maintained or remained on the but we already you already said that the character will die. So just to clarify, will the progress levels
not die? I mean, I wanted to say like you need to claim, there's just this 30-day requirement to claim your rewards, but meaning that the character will always stay there unless you unstake or reroll or basically there's an unstaking, right? If you don't stake,
if you unstake, if you unstake the character, so everything will be gone, like the level, the progress of that character, the traits of the character, because someone asked that from the chat.
That's the
to answer the question from that chat, Richard C. So everything will be lost, in short, if you unstake. So do not unstake your character.
You will have definitely this. But if you don't touch anything, you just kind of trust the system. You leave your character until our card game, Bones and Blade multiplayer card game is live. You will be definitely starting from that level, as you can see on your screen. Like let's say rarity score 4, so that every time new level and rarity is achieved, it will be multiplicative effect on these numbers. So we are basically not. We don't have control. We don't control anything there. It's just as fair as possible. You play, you have your starting point, so you can get a bit higher, a bit less, depending on this Chainlink VRF that assigns like this.
All right. So do not unstake if you want to play more. You could reroll.
I think it's gonna be nice at least to wait and kind of it's just a few weeks left until the card game launch. So I would highly encouraged to wait at least, like play game, be one of the early players, and obviously the earlier you play, I think definitely like in any game you're gonna be rewarded more, right? So that's something I think is logical.
All right. So last.
One another quick thing that I would like to share is our
Yes.
Gitbook, as we are kind of trying to still flesh it out. But basically, we have already a lot of information in our Gitbook. So this is like land environments and types, for example, because we were
Mm,
very much interested about the lands as well. So we have this already existing, so characters can move. Like there's
mm,
right now 100% existing land structure as well. So this is 100% from the 3D rig model from our actually existing Celestium metaverse. So as you can see, we have like cool existing environments already in 3D. The desert,
in a 3D.
savanna here. In a 3D, yeah, it's in a 3D
Do you
virtual
have
reality.
any? Okay. Do
Mhm.
you have any PC requirement for this one? Because it's a 3D.
So we are planning it again to be a web version first, but then as we go ahead and develop the game, we want to make it so that people can also have a live version of mobile as well to play on mobile.
Mm,
So, but at least in the very beginning, you can play on any PC that supports that basic browser, which I think definitely Mac and Windows, if not even Linux and
yes.
Ubuntu and others as well should support. But at least
Mm,
for sure, let's say Mac OS and the Windows operation systems will support. So you can see like how exciting environments we already have here. So we have
nice.
underwater, it's on roadmap, but we're thinking about underwater as well. Some exciting kind of topology here. It's very kind of sci-fi and exciting, definitely. Like if you look,
Yes,
it's
correct.
like the quality compared to others as well. It's like one of those top-notch qualities where it is trying to achieve there. Uh,
That
yeah,
you can explore the lands in a 3D.
Yeah, you can definitely explore the lands. You can have mining opportunities there. You can have different utilities embedded
Amazing.
to the kind of lands that you will be using. So and then we even have this Celestium land sale data as well, but this is mostly for private investors, right? So I just wanted to show you overall this like quite developed Gitbook system that we have, and this is particularly for Bones and Blade card game. So as you can see, these are some of the preliminary designs of our cards,
Mm,
like how they will look like in the actual game. Uh, yeah, like a leveling system with the boosters that I told you. So the boosters duration will be 3 days, at least given the information we have right now. So every booster, which I was saying about these probabilities, let's say the probability of small booster was 40%, medium 5%, and 1% of large booster. So the duration, like, meaning that during these 3 days, if you play hard and really grind out,
yeah.
you can really get a lot of benefits within this 3 days period. So, but it doesn't mean that if you got one booster, you will get it anyways again, right? Given your performance, we will constantly give out kind of give you different boosters as well. It's just at that moment it's gonna take 3 days and different points, as you can see. Small mostly adds 5s,
So
15,
that are the
75.
rewards.
These are, so this is the a little bit kind of a hard part. So let me try to
Mm,
simplify. It's basically we're going back to that formula which says weighted staking average points versus
yes.
others in the pool. So let's say you have 1000 RPG staked, so this 1000 will be multiplied by the booster point there, and then that will be multiplied by the level you have, and then let's say you
Mhm.
end up with 50,000, right? So these 50,000 points will be compared to the staking pool with other players. So if let's say the overall staking pool is 500k, you have 50k, so obviously we'll get 10% at that time benefits out of that shared staking pool. So there's like a
Yeah.
shared staking pool, so that looks proportionally how much points you have versus the other players overall stakes in the game, basically.
Mm. Is this an
So
idle
that's a little bit,
game?
sorry.
Is this a possible idle game?
This
Or
like we're it's with Celestium, and this one as well. It's gonna be multiplayer card game. So you're gonna play with at least two players. Will gonna play together, and like basically you will either by winning you will get points, XP points. By losing you will lose some XP points, right? So definitely the first MVP version of the Bones and Blade card game is gonna be multiplayer. So we're trying to build something like our XE type card game, but
mm,
with some more exciting new features, as
yes,
I
yes.
told you, like literally trying to bring some fresh view to this ecosystem. like a lot of exciting features new.
Correct. More land gameplays and then the card games inside that one. Nice. And can I stake a lot? Like example, I
Oh,
want to
I thought
stake
the
100.
sorry for interrupting. Was I sharing my screen like a while ago? The
Okay.
Git book.
Mechanics breakdown.
Yeah, we
Oh,
can see your
are you?
screen. We can see your
Oh,
screen.
okay, great. Yeah, so I was just wanting to share a list, like you can see how much developed we have. So I just was talking about those parts. So we have already even the kind of land mechanics as well. So
Okay.
here you can see land sale details even, but it's like for private mostly. But we are very much ready, like in ahead of the time. So we put all this utility stuff as well, like buying, selling, and renting. So every information is there way ahead of the time. And then, yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of information that you can check out this, and I was showing you this Bones and Blade card game. These are like preliminary designs of the cards. So there's gonna be multiplayer card game. People will stake their avatars and start kind of playing against each other. So if you win, you will get certain XP points. If you lose, you will lose certain XP points. So that the more you go, the higher will be your stake, and then the higher it is, the more RPG token rewards you will get, given that boosting formula. So the chance of getting small booster was 40%, the chance of getting medium booster was 5%, and then the chance of getting large booster was 1%. And then every 3 days you will keep whatever booster you get, but meaning that you can still receive it, but the core conceptual model here is for the beginning, at least 3 days, you will keep receiving these booster points. So let's assume you have staked 1000 RPG, so that staked amount of RPG will be multiplied by this 5, 15, 75 coefficients, and then that will be multiplied by the level you have. So the higher, obviously, each of these components, the higher will be your overall staking weighted average points versus the staking pool. So the higher it is, the more RPG rewards you will get.
Correct. All
Yeah.
right. So the
I was
higher
just excited to
RPGs that
kind
you
of,
want to stake.
yeah, I was excited to just share with our community as well, so they are as excited as us, right? That we introduced a lot of mechanics, so it's fair and fun to play.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
Very
an
futuristic, very futuristic characters, right?
Is this an NFT or an NPC or a mobs?
These are from the Celestium MMORPG game. These characters are gonna be playable in Celestium, but also they will be part of our card game as well. So as I just screen shared, you noticed some of the characters are not some, but all the characters are also on the cards, right? So you can get the cards, and you can, by having the staking assets, you can play the card game with these avatars, but displayed on the card. So later on, what we are trying to do is connect all these different games that we have in the Celestium. So meaning that you can take your Bones and Blade multiplayer card game character to the Celestium metaverse and start utilizing whatever you have already earned, like fearlessly playing this card game, so that you can feel that all the time, every minute spent on the game is rewarded. So you take your card characters and transform it to the metaverse, to the Celestium MMORPG game.
All right. So these are NFTs or the Celestials that you're going
These
to
are
experience
NFTs
by the
that will
game.
be ideal. Yeah, these will be 3D NFTs in Celestium, but these are also card game characters as well. So these characters will be displayed on the card. So when you are playing the card, you're basically owning this character as a part of the card gameplay on the Bones and Blade card game. So let's say the card can have one of these characters displayed, so meaning that you own actually that character card.
Okay. On Celestium.
So they're like, we're trying to traverse multiple games. You see my point? So every time you stake, it's never lost, right? You will gonna be rewarded every time. So that's why I said it really makes sense for players to jump onto the platform ASAP, so that every time they play, every even single minute, hour spent on the game, you can always be sure it's rewarded throughout the long-term and sustainable planning that we have. Because when we launch other game, let's say Celestium, Krolishta, or other planets that we're planning to launch, so these monsters, like the cards and the rewards boosters that you earn in the Bones of Blade, will be transformed into the transferred into the Celestium metaverse, so that you can be sure that every single hour time spent on our platform is rewarded and you keep your rewards. always.
Yeah, I think we don't have much time for more questions, but I'm gonna leave
Okay,
you with one last question before
sure.
All right.
I get your you know what I mean. Let's I'm gonna ask you, how soon is this card game? Can you give us some timeline? Can you give us
Okay.
some date or month?
So we are planning to have at least quite kind of rich MVP model. By rich, I mean a lot of features will be obviously available in the initial MVP release, which we are planning to release by the end of this month, by the end of February, let's say. So that even right now that you're staking on the platform, you'll be able to use these characters to play the card game. That's why it's just a few weeks left. So I'm thinking that people should obviously kind of keep their characters and start utilizing them in our soon to be released card game. Okay, actually very soon, right? Just a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. That very
Yeah, a
soon.
couple of weeks only. Yeah, very
So
soon. And
it is
also
not announced
Celestium.
yet, right? It is not announced yet.
It is actually. So what
It
we are
is.
doing, we are revealing different cards. Like we revealed also very exciting card designs. Let me quickly try to pull it out from our Twitter.
Sure.
I mean, these ones you will like so much. It's really top-notch quality even compared to other Illuvium or network characters. So let me try to show you real quick. One sec. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Lava Dog, for example. You see like this 3D type of models as well. So we are trying to improve also the designs on the way, like of this card game as well. So for example, we might even have like, let's say at some point of development, maybe not in MVP, but as we kind of grow the players base, this type of 3D model as well. Like there's like a lot of people literally commenting on Telegram here as well, asking, can you kind of just sell this as an NFT to us? Like it's so cool, people looking at this design. And yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of exciting stuff happening. So
There's a question here that I think it's important for us to know,
yeah.
and if you can play the card game and you get boosters, so what is the that's the result of winning the game, right? So what is the consequences of losing the game? Because if you win every time, and how often can you play the card game? Because if you win every time and you get a lot of boosters, then you multiply your earnings. And someone asked here, I mean, this is not a question. I think your economy cannot sustain in the long run if the staking required keep on
Basically,
multiplying.
so yeah, I completely agree with the question and kind of some answer inside that question. But definitely, it's gonna be like two ways, right? As I introduced also in the machinations model, you obviously we are trying to get let's say as favorable conditions for players as possible. Let's say 60% chances of winning, 40% of losing, but obviously you're gonna lose as well, right? So it's not a one-way street. It's like every time you win, you're gonna lose as well. So that's why it's both. It's like any game. You lose, you you're deducted some XP points. You win, you're getting some kind of RPG weighted points as well into the system. So it's like any traditional game mechanics, as you know, like you win, you get XP, you lose XP, right?
I see. So there's some kind of reduction if you lose. So that explains
Exactly,
everything.
yeah. Otherwise, it's like cannot. This is, I think, it's fair, right? But just so our unique model concept there is that we have introduced this weighted average staking pool model and staking of NFT assets even before the game. Like let's say starting January 17, people were very excited. Even in the beginning days, like 60-70% APY. So those who staked even 10,000 RPGs already got like a lot of benefits even before the game was launched. But the game, as any game, is like there's two phases to the game, right? The winner wins certain XP points and the loser loses certain XP points. So that to keep the game interesting, the mechanics kind of always overarching and kind of there's gonna be this winning and losing mechanics always in the long term. Definitely.
I see. So before I let you go on this stream,
Okay.
do you have any words from for our Filipino community who is listening tonight?
Okay. Yeah, it's really exciting. Thank you so much again, both of you, ShiboSan, so like to introduce us to your great community, and also definitely we have one of the biggest visitors also are coming to our website from Filipino and the Asian markets as well. So we are definitely hoping that we're gonna be very successful in the Asian market as well. And why not? I mean, hopefully we are trying to compete with Axie Infinity as well. I mean, obviously, as you notice, a lot of things are even better. Like as we were learning throughout this even couple of years, not immediately started launching, we're learning what others are doing, like the SWOT analysis, like good and bad things they have, and then definitely trying to replicate the best out of all these MMORPG games. So yeah, I mean, we're quite confident that we're gonna be able to create like a lot of competition with even these very well-known games. So that's the plan basically, and then we are very excited to also have another AMA as well. And as I told you, Asian market is one of our key markets as well, key priorities.
Okay, Deng?
All right. So no more questions about this one. And we do you have another last question?
Yeah, paalam na.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
So thank you so much, Mr.
No, I mean, last question to you. I mean, just
Yes,
as
yes.
honest as possible. Your honest feedback. So, given this long discussion we had, so if you could summarize your excitement, how excited you are, because you are also obviously comparing with a lot of other games. So, tell me honestly, like,
correct.
what do you think about our games and the development so far? It'll be just exciting for our community as well to hear your final thoughts. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so
I think
much.
ShiboSan
Yeah,
and then you,
yeah,
if you could
yeah,
share separately your thoughts.
yeah. I don't. I think there's no more follow-up questions. So thank you so much,
Right.
Soren. I'm gonna show your name again so the people will know.
Thank you.
Soren moves
Soren.
Sisian. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's yeah. Thank you
This is
so much
correct.
for joining us tonight. Thank you
you.
so much for introducing the game. And of course, this is a very exciting game. I know this is gonna be big, but this is a very ambitious game. I'm not gonna lie. So the team will have a very hard time developing. I know, but I know that every one of you is dedicated to this game. I mean, committed to create
Thank you.
this wonderful
Yeah,
multiverse. So
24/7. Like we're working very hard every single day to make it happen, basically. And
so
the long-term vision is really driving us. So every single, I can tell for every single person in our team, it's really very hard and dedicated working team.
yeah, I think that's all for tonight for the AMA. And next, I'm gonna do some raffle. I'm gonna do some other stuff. So that's it for the AMA now, Soren. Thank you,
Thank you
so
very
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Pleasure.
Mr.
Okay.
Soren.
Bye-bye. At yun guys, medyo nakahinga na ba kayo?
Great.
So,
Ayoko tumingin sa chat. Grabe. Pinaggagawa niyo dyan.
paki-extend pa po.
Yeah, sana their NFTs or their cards will move. Yeah, there will be like movement
So,
from
meron
their
ka bang
cards.
question na hindi naintindihan? Ako na yung sasagot. Ganun kasi guys ano ko lang, bago tayo pumunta dun sa isang gusto kong i-shield din, at kung meron ng question si Andeng or kung meron pa siyang time, kasi alam kong kakain na siya ng ganitong time pero kung may question ka, kung meron kang hindi na-gets, no? Hindi ko alam kung na-gets ko, pero kung itatry ko lang. Pero ito kasi guys, ang sinasabi kasi ditong project na to, para ka makapasok sa game, ang unang step mo dito is mag-stake ng RPG yung token nila. Ngayon, pag nag-stake ka dito, kagaya dito, nag-stake ako ng isa lang na RPG. Depende din doon sa may stake mo. Meron din yung contribution kung ano makukuha mo. Konti lang, percentage lang. Pero syempre, mas malaki kang in-stake, depende sa APY mo, mas marami kang lalabas. So, sabi ng isa, ang liit daw ng APY, kasi nga base rewards lang naman yung APY na yan. Doon naman papasok yung game nila, kasi magkakaroon ka ng booster. So, pagka in-stake mo yung RPG mo, magkakaroon ka ng random na character. Ngayon, mayroon sila dito, 3 pa lang. Meron nga nagreklamo may in-stake daw siya, nawala daw yung character. 3 pa lang. Pag in-stake mo, ikaw bahala kung ilang RPG ka. Magmumultiply yan dun sa APY, tapos magmumultiply yan dun sa booster. Magkakakuha ka ng booster pag nanalo ka sa game. Ngayon, pag hindi ka nanalo sa game, ay mabawasan pa yung I mean, yung characteristic ng character mo, yung kakayahan ng character mo. Pag natatalo ka. So, sabi nung isa, 'di ba, kung may booster ka, so hindi rin obra kung na laging win kasi pag nag-lose ka, pwedeng mabawasan daw yung experience mo, yan no. So pwedeng bumaba ang level. Ang intindi ko kasi dito, pwedeng bumaba, hindi puro level up dito eh. Ang kakaibahan dito, depende sa paglalaro mo. Kunwari, namatay yung character mo, naubusan ng buhay. Doon sa, anong tawag dito, Celestium. Ay, Celestium ba yan? Tignan natin
Basta
dito.
parang
Oo, sa
arena
parang
nila.
3D. Hindi, yung parang MMO nila na.
Oo.
'Di ba kasi card game tapos merong MMO. So pag
Yes,
namatay
may
ka doon, ito tignan, pakita ko lang. Explain ko na kasi ang hirap mag-explain kay ni. Ito. Ito Celestium pala. Yan, Celestium.
Oo.
Kunwari, andyan ka na kasi sa card game, gets naman natin yun, di ba? Lumalaban tayo sa card game. Pwede talaga win or lose. Kung may lose ka, may reduction sa character mo. Hihina yung kita mo, kumbaga. Ngayon, dito din sa itong laro na to, kasi ni-review ko na to dati. Pag namatay ka naman dito, hihina din yung character mo. One level at a time per level siya. So, hindi rin puro win. Kahit andito ka na sa mundo ng yung puro 3D na, magbabakbakan ka na. Kasi ang iniisip talaga nila, kokontrolin mo talaga kasi parang No Man's Sky talagang dating. Kung familiar kayo sa No Man's Sky, sikat to na game. Ito. No Man's Sky dati. Ayan. Ganyan talaga makikita mo.
MMORPG.
MMORPG talaga siya na full 3D. Ganyan. Titira ka, 'di ba? Magmimina ka, ganyan. Pero pag namamatay ka dito, may reduction ka dun sa character mo. Kaya hindi siya laging win.
Yes.
So ganun
RNG
yung
kumbaga.
Hindi naman siya RNG kasi skill-based na pagdating sa MMO. Skill-based na siya eh. Ngayon, pagdating dun sa card game, iba yun kasi may ano yun eh. Yun may konting RNG.
Oo.
Ganun siya lalabas. Yes, maganda yan, No Man's Sky, sabi nga ni Zello. So, sikat kasi to eh, itong No Man's Sky din dati. Nagkaroon nga ng issue to. Kasi nagsinungaling sila, multiplayer daw, hindi pala. Ganon. Solo pala. Sabi nila, hindi daw kayo nagkikita. Kasi sobrang laki daw ng universe.
Mapa.
Ngayon, merong nakachempong streamer na pareha silang nakatayo sa same location.
Naghanapan silang dalawa.
Naghanapan sila, same location. Pag lumingon sila, same. Pag lumingon sila sa kabila, same. Pero hindi sila nagkikita. Yun pala, nagsinungaling yung developer, hindi pala sa multiplayer. Ngayon, nag-release sila yata ulit ng multiplayer na yan naman yung No Man's Sky. Pero yan yung pinaka-vision ng game na to. Pati yung artwork medyo hawig dun eh, no?
Hawig,
Full 3D din. Pati yung biomes nila, kanina pinakita ito biomes. Medyo hawig din yung mga kulay. Ayan yung mga biomes. Iba-iba po yung pwede natin minahin dyan. Ngayon, merong nagtatanong kung pwede ba doon pumasok ng libre. Hindi na siguro option yun kasi pwede palang mag-stake kahit 1 RPG. Papalibre ka pa ba? Di ba?
Correct.
1 RPG
And
lang eh.
More RPG that you're going to stake, the higher chance of winning.
Kasi may mga multipliers ka eh. Ganun siya. So, eto, magle-level up ka. Alin?
35
Bumaba.
yun kanina.
Kasi ganun talaga ang APY. Depende yan sa mga circulating na supply, circulating na mas maraming nagsistake, medyo bababa yan. So, kailangan mong laruin para sa booster. Ganun talaga siya. Tapos, meron dito mga vehicles. Ito, game builder, Stargate. Itong Stargate, pwede ka mag-jump from one location to another. Kasi malaki yung may skins din siya. Yung mga hayop, di ko alam kung pwede nating igawin dito. So more or less, ganyan yung game niya. Unique talaga siya sa ibang game. Yun yung tinatanong, di ko alam sino nagtatanong doon, yung tethered. Ibig sabihin, dikit yung in-stake mong RPG dito sa character. Kaya sa tethered. Ngayon, pag tinanggal mo yung RPG dito sa character, matitigok tong character mo. Mamamatay siya. Mabiburn siya. Huwag niyong i-unstake. Burn yan, ibig sabihin. So,
to get another one.
Makukuha mo yung token mo, pero mamamatay itong progress mo. So, parang siya, Para talaga siyang yung level up game, di ba? Parang ganon. Na pagka nakalimutan mo yung password, mawala na. Hindi mo na ma-open. So parang ganon din yung dito. So,
Maganda ngayon pumasok.
yun nga.
It's good
Pero
to
ang ano din
enter.
nun, actually ito yung story niyan. Kaya din medyo nabalikan ko tong naging interesado ko ulit. Meron akong token nito kasi halos walang value dati yung token nito. Meron akong token, nag-take profit ako kahit papano. Kasi hindi ako naniwala sa project eh. Nagtudamon yung after ko mag-take profit. Sobrang taas ng token niya nung time na yun.
96?
Oh, sobrang taas na pag nag-take profit ako around ilang times. Kasi from start ng 12 ngayon. Sabi nga niya, 'di ba, hindi sila ganoon ka underperforming. Kasi kung makikita mo, 90, 12. Hindi ano 'yon, hindi sobrang baba 'yon. 'Di ba? Makikita mo hindi
Correct.
sobrang baba 'yon. Dito ako nakakuha ng token around dito October, yan 20. Tapos
20.
binenta ko nang gumanon lang nag 30 yata or dito lang din banda. Binenta ko. Tapos nag 90.
No November, oo.
Oo, so around times 4, times 5. Pero bumaba siya na ngayon ng 12. Eh kasi nga galing din naman tayo sa patay na market, 'di ba? So
Correct.
hindi yan masama.
December.
Hindi yan masama.
Correct.
Marami pang token na mas bleed diyan. Sabi nga niya, hindi naman ganun ka bad performing yung token nila. At totoo naman 'yun. Kasi kung 90 naman galing Crypto Blades nga galing sa
Diyos me Lord.
PBO nga, 'di ba? PBO nga, Crypto Blades nga galing lagapak ngayon So wala pa naman yung game. Magsi-stabilize talaga yan sa mababa. Kaya 'di ba sabi mo masarap mag-entry kung gusto mo yung game, no? Kasi nga malayo pa Pero weeks daw lalabas na yung card game. Kaso card game 'yun. Kaya alam naman natin, naabangan natin di yung card game
Yung MMORPG talaga.
Oo, MMORPG talaga
Yung
ang
may
dating,
paglalakbay, may mining. Yun.
Oo.
Yung kaabang-abang dun. Tapos may voice chat pa dun kung pwede.
Tapos mag-ano pala tayo, may raffle pala tayo ngayon. Dumami yung tao. Pag nung wala ng English, dumami na 70 plus na.
Oo. Actually, boss, as we speak, the market is now turning into green.
Oo nga. Kasi alam naman siguro ng
Napo-FOMO na
lahat
ba kayo?
itong RPG mismo?
Oo.
Hindi, konti lang din
Nag-green na siya kanina, red na red yan.
Ganon. Siguro, tumatalpak na sila. Pero, sobrang baba nito, talpakan ngayon Sobrang baba nito. Ito yung magandang mga, obviously, hindi naman scam token kasi in development nga sila.
Yes.
Di ba? Tapos, hindi naman sila, alam mo yun, hindi sila pre-sale ng pre-sale.
Tago. Oo.
Tsaka may, ibig sabihin, meron silang datong. Ganun lang naman yun Kasi, pagkatahimik ka lang nagde-develop, meron ka. Kasi, kompleto naman talaga sila
Hindi sila
Kompleto.
pa-hype ng pa-hype.
Hindi sila gano'n na parang farm planet na puro pre-sale na lang yung nangyari. Hanggang sa mag-rug pull na. wala nang puro pre-sale. Eto, may token sila. May token sila, wala pang pre-sale, in development pa. Tapos hindi sila basta in development sila. Hindi yung puro pa-hype, di ba?
Yes.
So, may future
Walang
sa tingin ko. Ang gusto ko dito is, yun ang maganda. Walang minting. Kasi ang problema kasi sa minting, guys, once na mag-mint ka, parang cash cow mo na yun dahil sa mint mo.
Correct.
Ganun siya Dito naman, wala kang minting, nakakulong
Pero,
naman yung token mo.
Correct. 30 days.
So, nasa iyo yun kung paano mo palalaguin. Ngayon, paano pagka marami ng, para kang bumili ng DVD or nung bala ng game, di ba? Kung bibili ka, kunwari sa PlayStation, bibili ka, hindi mo malaro pagka binenta mo yung CD na yun or yung bala na yun, di ba? Bala, parang family computer ang dating Pag binenta mo yun, di ba? Hindi mo malaro. Kailangan mo ng DVD na yun. Parang ganun din siya. Parang kang bumili ng game, hindi mo siya malaro pag binenta mo or mamamatay yung character mo.
Correct.
So, ganun siya. Hindi kagaya ng mint na mint now is earn forever. 'Di ba? Kaya nawawala na value din. So unique, meron silang ginagawang unique na hindi man siya pa-hype ngayon kaya medyo hindi pinapansin, pero unique pa rin siya. Hindi ako I mean hindi I'm not gonna lie, unique siya in every way.
Actually,
Kasi
boss, parang hindi siya maleless value. Yung NFT hindi maleless value.
hindi maliless value lalo na kung naka-stake siya kasi pag ito pa lang isa pa, pag benenta mo pala sa marketplace to, lahat ng progress andon. So paano pag ikaw yung unang player dito sa mundo na to? Tapos
Sayang.
talagang nag-progress ka ng matindi. Ibig sabihin may chance pa rin na may value pa rin yung character mo. Hindi ibig sabihin na itong character na to, pare-parehas lang siya sa lahat. Hindi. Kasi kung nilaro mo talaga to, tapos lumakas siya, kagaya nito, tumaas yung level.
Parang Mirror 4.
Parang Mirror 4.
Oo.
Parang Mirror 4. Ang problema lang sa Mirror 4, free kasi. So yung entry, pati yung bot, nakaka-entry.
Correct.
Diba? Yun lang naman eh. Pero yung pinakalaro ng Mirror 4, talagang maganda siya. Hindi siya mamatay kahit wala kang earning. Laro pa rin eh. Kasi may guild war, di ba? May raiding. So, dito naman, sandbox siya guys. Ibig sabihin ng sandbox, pwede mong gawin. Pwede ka mag-build, pwede ka ibahin yung mundo, ganon. O, pwede ka
mag-sell ng something, gather. Nice.
Pwede kang mag-craft, ganon siya. So, yun yung Revolve games. Sabi nga ni Linmar, huwag kayong ma-FOMO na kayo. Or sabi naman ni MCM, huwag kayong pumasok na kayo. Diba? So napakalabo. Huwag ba talaga o pumasok? So, nasa inyo na po yun kung papasok mo kayo o hindi. Pero hindi namin pino-FOMO kayo, ma-FOMO na kayo. Hindi namin kayo pino-FOMO na kayo. Diba, MCN?
Mag-dial lang kayo kung nasa moon na kami.
Eto, hindi ako napo-FOMO ako. Hindi ako napo-FOMO ako. So, I think yan lang muna para sa Revolve Games, no? Ito naman yung before tayo magtapos ng siguro may raffle pa kasi tayo eh. May raffle pa tayo. Hindi ako napo-FOMO ako. Sabi naman ni JP Kiambao. Yan siya. So, yun yung Revolve Games. At yun nga, magda-doubt talaga ang marami kasi matagal na siya eh. At yun nga, di ba? Star Atlas. Sobrang ganda ng Star Atlas. Saan na ba ngayon? Wala pa. Kasi nga, mahirap i-develop. Diba?
Actually, boss, yung Star Atlas may na-scam dyan eh. Kasi yung isa na kakilala ko, pag-download niya, nawala yung assets niya.
Ito, Boss Shibs, kahit yung may entry, napapasok pa rin ng bot. Napapasok pa rin ng bot. So, depende na lang yan sa security. Ano yun sa Star Atlas mo?
Nag-download siya ng something na nawala yung mga assets niya.
Oh, yari ka. Gusto kong bumili actually ng Star Atlas eh. Kaso nga, alam kong matagal matutulog. Yun yung pinakaano mo dun eh. Sobrang tagal pa matutulog yung Star Atlas. 2023 pa yung alpha nun kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Meron sigurong pre-alpha pero hindi ko alam kung lalabas ngayon. Pero alpha nun guys, 2023 pa. Alpha pa lang yun ha. So more or less, 2025 muna yun full launch ng game. Launch ng game. Pero yung assets nga niya, para siyang magiging real life assets talaga sa laki ng value. Kasi kung nakabili ka ngayon, ay to the moon talaga yan pag nag-release. Kasi ikaw lang may ganyan eh. Hindi naman sila mag-release na paulit-ulit dyan eh. So yun nga, meron daw bot kahit may entry, lalo na pag walang entry, pag free to play. Di ba? So,
ang gara niya, nag-bot siya tapos nagbayad pa siya, no?
Yun yung doon, tapos maban pa siya. Yun lang yung problema, guys. Kaya may banning para din ay hindi basta-basta confident na mag-bot. Diba? Or yung mga Chinese kasi, talaga eh, doon talaga expert sa boting eh.
Pero the marketer, the marketing whatever, the CMO is great.
Ha?
Great.
Paano great?
Diyan.
Hindi, ano yun?
Indian
bilis lang talaga. Hindi, ano yun? Ano nga yung ano na yun? Nasa ano siya ngayon eh, Denmark. Ang bilis lang talaga magsalita. Medyo sumasakit din yung ano ng iba. Pero nai-gets ko naman kasi nga na-review ko na tong project na to. So, kung hindi ko siguro na-review to, baka mahirapan din ako intindihin yung pinagsasabi
Makitulong
niya.
mo.
Oo. At ito isa sa project pala bago tayo magtapos guys meron akong minting NFT minting na naman tayo kasi nga nagpi-flip tayo ng mga NFT at makachamba tayo. Minsan talaga magkakaroon tayo ng 5x, pa 10x, pa 100x. Minsan yan, pwede mangyari yan. Ito naman minting natin sa isang NFT. I-shield ko lang sa inyo at kunin ko lang dito. Tignan ko lang tong ano na to. Yung share natin. Meron tayong minting na pwede nyong pasukin din ng whitelisting. Pwede kayo makakuha. At ito naman yung asan ba yun? Kailangan kong i-shield. Pero kung may question ka Anding, pwede kong sagutin dyan sa Revolve Games. Ilalagay ko tong link na to guys sa comment. Ayan. Ilalagay ko yung link na yan sa comment. Yan muna yung una kong shield. Meron pa akong shield na isa. At ito nga, I brought to you by Seashore Salad and NFT Flappy. At dito po ay binigyan ako ng whitelisting for the minting. Ito po yung imimint natin. Wala pa siyang date. Pero kasama to sa imimint natin. Sana ay malaki yung value niya. Sana ay mataas yung floor. So meron akong link dyan. Patulong naman guys na napuntahan itong link na to. Tapos kung gusto nyo mag-mint ng NFT, pwede kayo makakuha ng whitelisting nito. Pero mukhang magiging malaki to kasi nga malaki tong backer ng project na to. Medyo maganda din naman. So di natin alam, meron naman malaki ang backer na namamatay, di ba? Based doon sa mga naging minting natin, di ba? Nagkakaroon din tayo ng idea kung bakit ba nagbi-mint yung mga tao. Di ba? Minsan kadalasan lugi, pero pag nakachamba ka naman sa minting mo sa NFT, ay pwede ka naman mag to the moon dyan. So, at least na-explore natin yung mga minting sa NFT. Hindi lang puro tayo mga play to earn, di ba? Tapos hindi natin alam, bakit ba may NFT dito sa mundo? Hindi natin alam, bakit ba pina-follow ito ng
drawing
mga
lang yan.
ano ba to? JPEG lang to, di ba? Ano ba? Sabi, nakapag-mint ka na, na-download ko na yung JPEG, minting na ba to? Parang ganun, di ba? So, bakit tayo may mga NFT? Bakit tayo may mga collections gagaya nito? Etong parang itong Paranormies guys, di ba? Failed to. So at least nakita natin. Ngayon, nag-drop sila. Naging dalawa na yung Paranormies ko. Kasi pag below 1,000 yung Paranormy mo na ID, magkakaroon ka ng isa. So at least napapaliwanag natin sa mga minting na yan. At ito na kasi yung future guys Bakit yung mga cyberpunk, di ba? Bakit nagkakahalaga ng 10 million pataas sa peso? Isang ano lang naman ito. Di ba? Meron nga akong unggoy dito na magkano ba value nito? Binibenta ko ng 20 Ethereum. So, bilhin nyo na. Ayan, meron pa akong mga ibang binibenta dito. Bilhin na. 3.5 million lang naman. Bakit may mga nagkakahalagang mga ganyan na mga NFT? So, pwede kayo magkaroon ng information dun sa minting natin. At isa nga po ito sa magiging minting natin, guys. Seashore Salad. Yung Seashore, ito. Follow nyo to na hindi ko naman pina-follow. Bakit? Di ko alam bakit. Seashore Salad guys, isa po yan sa magiging pinakamalaking guild sa Ember Sword. So kung gusto nyo sumali na sa guild ngayon at magkaroon na kayo ng information about Ember Sword, at ito ang maganda dyan sa guild na yan guys. Ito maganda dyan. Pwede kayong mapahiram ng land para sa alpha. Pagka-active kayo dyan sa guild na yan ngayon. Seashore Salad. Ang hirap bigkasin. Sino ba So yan, SS Guild guys, pwede kayong sumali dyan. At pwede kong ilagay actually so brought to you by Flappy yan Kung gusto niyo mag-mint ng Flappy, mura lang yan pag naka-whitelist kayo. Pero yan po yung next natin na whitelist. Ilalagay ko naman yung SS Guild na yan guys. SS ko lang po sasabihin. I-invite ko kayo. So sana ay asan ba yung invite na to? Pasend nga ako ng invite. Wait lang may pinapasendan ako ng invite. Ayan yan. Kukunin ko yung invite nito guys Tapos naman baka pwede kayong pumasok dito para makita lang na hindi ko sila ma-invite Wait lang Ito dito sa general. Hindi wait lang maghahanap ako ng link. Pahanap ng link.
For the seizure salad, boss?
So, seizure salad. Meron ka?
We have the Facebook.
Sa Discord.
Wait.
Sa Discord. Tapos
Hanapin
magano tayo. Paghanap pa. So meron din akong kausap din kasi. So pag baka mahanap mo, maano mo rin yung Discord nila. Ano ba tong sponsor natin? And sponsorship nito guys is whitelisting lang naman. So hindi naman siya ganun kabigat. Pero at least na ano natin, di ba? Na na-plug natin yung ano. Tapos ang isa pa guys, bago natin balikan natin 'yan pag mayroon na tayong link, no. Ito namang tawag dito, liquidity. Ito namang skill guild. So nagkaubusan pala ng NFT guys ng skill guilds. Yung Pegaxi nila. Ito meron tayong Pegaxi dito. Nagkaubusan pala ito. Ito skill guilds. So meron na silang season 2 ngayon kasi sold out na yung una eh. Ito. At meron na lang, ayan, nabawasan na kaagad. So meron, kung gusto nyong parang manager kayo ng Pegaxi pero wala kayong pang entry, ay ito, kung lahat ng proceeds nito guys, lahat ng kita, ibibili ng Pegaxi, tapos sila yung magpapa-scholar kasi scholarship guild naman to sila. So parang investment ang kinukuha nila. Magkakaroon kayo ng, pero iba na yung ano nila eh. Ito, 70% ng earnings mapupunta sa NFT holder. Tapos after ng season ay ibebenta nila yung mga Pegaxi, ibibigay naman pabalik sa mga holder. So parang umikot lang. So kung gusto nyo tumalpak sa mga ganito, hindi ko sinasabing tatalpak kayo. Sinasabi ko lang may mga ganitong mga NFT. Kasi sabi nyo, uy, Pegaxi, paano ba ano dyan? Hindi ka naman maka-entry kasi sobrang mahal. Ang entry dito guys nasa around 10 to 12,000 kasi siyempre paiba-iba yung price ng BNB. Diba? So kung gusto nyo mag-entry dyan, pwede dyan. Okay, tapos ito hanapin ko lang tong link ng ano. Sino ba pwedeng magbigay? Bakit kasi hindi ako makaano? Ito hanapin lang natin tong link. Tapos kung may tanong kayo sa Revolve Games, yan, nangingi ako ng link sa ano. Tapos alam ko naman hindi kayo bibitaw eh kasi hinihintay nyo pa yung giveaway eh. Basang-basa na kayo eh. Pero ibahin ko sa yung giveaway ngayon.
Salad, ha? Caesar salad, ano yan, Philippines yan.
Philippines yan. Isa yan sa pinaka magiging active na guild. Kasi ang backer nila is malaki talaga. Malaking tao talaga ang backer. Isa sa council ng Octoheads. Isa sa pinakamalaking NFT na sobrang mamahal. Isa sa council ng... Isa sa... Ano pala siya? Siya yung founder ng isa sa pinakamalaking Axie scholarship sa buong Pilipinas. 1,000 yung kaano niya, yung scholarship niya way back kasi sila yung mga unang adapter ng Axie. Way back hindi pa sumisikat, ay pasikat pa lang yung Axie, nag-start na siya ng scholarship. So isa yan sa council ng ano.
Nakuha ko na yung Discord, boss.
Ito, nakuha ko yung Discord. Ito. Ilalagay ko guys. Baka pwede naman kayong pumasok para makita naman nila. Tapos baka 'di ba? Baka pag naging active kayo konti diyan, isa kayo sa pwedeng mabigyan ng access diyan sa Ember Sword kung gusto niyo maglaro. Kasi sa Ember Sword guys, hindi ka pwedeng maglaro pagka anong tawag dito, wala kang land, 'di ba? Hindi, wala kang land. Hindi ka pwedeng maglaro. So sila merong mga badge na hawak. Sila mayroong mga land na hawak. Napakarami ng land dahil malaki nga yung backer niyan. Pero ibibigay yan doon sa mga trusted nila sa guild syempre, 'di ba? Para makapaglaro at ma-explore yung game. 'Di ba? Magwala daw tayo diyan. ShiboSan Gaming X Seashore Salad na lang. So ganun na lang yung ano nating hashtag. Kayo na bahala, alam niyo naman mag-grade, 'di ba? So parade naman guys, baka mabigyan kayo ng land. Hindi binibigay para ang land diyan. Syempre, KYC kayo niyan, pwedeng ipahiram yung land kung gusto niyo maglaro ng early access. Tapos andyan si Ming, kilala niyo naman siguro si Ming, 'di ba? Minsan nagwawala diyan sa Discord natin. So it's time na siguro na mag-hashtag Ming kayo diyan. Ay mag-ping kayo kay Ming, 'di ba? Ping niyo si Ming 'yan. Kung saan man, or para siya na mismo mag-explain kung ano yung ino-offer ng guild na yan. Kasi ang pinakabala kasi dyan ding, di ba wala kang land, magkakaroon ng alpha. O paano ma-explore yung land kung wala yung force ng every individual? Kasi kahit may hawak kang hundreds of lands, thousands of land, is hindi mo naman ma-explore yung alpha, hindi ka rin magkakaroon ng advantage. Kasi sa Ember Sword, kailangan mo kaagad mag-explore, i-explore mo yung mundo ng Ember Sword, di ba? Kailangan mo explore yon. So as guild, para makakuha ka ng mga gandang mga items, pwede kang pahiramin ng badge or yung pinaka alpha pass para maraming galing agad sa guild makalaro agad sa alpha pa lang. So kung gusto nyo umano dyan, pakita na rin ng support guys para malaman nila na mayroon pala tayong mga ganitong community. Ngayon, opportunity nyo na rin yan na makapasok dyan. Baka makuha nyo yung loob nila, tawag dito, pwede kayong bibigyan ng access. Okay?
Kung pasok
Ayan
po kayo guys, kasi ako pa lang yung nagpo-post doon. At saka na-ping ko si Ming. Andito si Ming.
Pinin ko yung Discord guys pinin ko yung Discord. Baka naman pwede kayong pumasok dyan para magkaroon tayo ng sana all, sabi naman dito. Timing, shoutout daw. Clash on Gaming, hindi ko pala nakikita yung nila. So, yan yung isa sa mga natin, nagbigay ng whitelist spot para sa minting ng Flappy na naman natin yan. Ipapakita natin yan next time. So, pagka wala kayo dyan sa Discord, tapos sumali kayo sa raffle, hindi kayo mananalo sa raffle, guys. So, kailangan makita namin kayo dito sa Discord na nag-hi kayo, na nag-hello kayo, or whatsoever. Kaso, saan ba pwede mag-type dyan yung mga bago sa application? Yan, sa application guys. Diyan kayo magwala para mamaya isi-search ko yung pangalan ninyo. Pag nakita niyo yung pangalan ninyo sa raffle na wala kayo dyan, hindi kayo mananalo. Okay? So sa raffle naman natin, gusto ko ring ibahin yung raffle natin guys. Yan, nakapasok na ba kayo? Sa application pala. So, sila na bahala mag-entertain sa inyo. Pero kung meron kayong makatanungan at gusto nyo nga pumasok sa Ember Sword, pero willing na willing talaga kayong pumasok at gusto nyo isupport yung guild na yan, pero wala kayong pang-entry. Right time yan guys. Kasi nga, meron yan silang mga passes para makapasok kayo sa game. Kasi malapit na kasi yung alpha stage, free alpha ng Ember Sword. Isa po yan sa pinakamalaking AAA game na inaabangan ng lahat ng whales. At ayan nga, ito yung Ember Sword. Isa din po ito sa pinaka inaabangan din namin na game. Hindi naman natin sasabing hindi siya maganda. Talagang maganda naman talaga yung game. Yun nga lang, ay alpha stage pa lang. Ang makakuha lang ng access dyan ay yung may mga land at yung may mga badge, di ba? So, yun. So, tignan natin sa Discord. Yan, meron na mga pumapasok. Yun, maraming salamat sa pag-support ninyo guys. Hindi man tayo madami ngayon sa stream na to, pero magpapa-raffle ba tayo? Wag na siguro. Clickbait lang para sa raffle. So maraming nag-hashtag dahil sa raffle. Alam ko naman yon. Bakit sa chat kayo nag-hashtag? Doon kayo sa Discord. So okay lang din. Wala ba tayong Wala ba tayong mga live dyan bago tayo habang inaayos ko yung mga live ng tropa natin dyan? Wala ba? Naka-Valentine yata lahat eh.
Naka-Valentine's sila ngayon.
Oo, naka-Valentine's. Busy sila. Tayo lang maulo.
Linmar, punta kayo dito sa Ember Sword Caesar Salad.
Yan. Parapol ka daw, Boss Gab. Yan, isa yan sa admin dyan guys, si Gabulicious. Isa yan sa merong mga hawak na malalaking land. Meron yan silang city, meron yan silang town. Alam naman natin, milyones ang presyo niyan, di ba? So para makatungtong ka dyan sa mga lupain nila, pwede ka dyan magpasikat, di ba? Sa kanila para makatungtong ka sa lupain nila. Which is yan naman yung ino-offer ng mga guild sa Ember Sword. At yun nga, ang ino-offer naman ng Ember Sword, totoong gameplay. MMORPG talaga yan. So, para sa giveaway natin guys, ang gawin naman natin is dito tayo sa Discord natin. Kung tapos na kayo dyan sa Caesar Salad na Discord, no? Yan, baka hindi na nila mababasa siguro yan sa dami ng Kahit wala ng raffle, anding reveal daw. Wala na daw raffle. Ay baka siya na yung magpa-raffle, ayun yung mag-reveal.
May pa-raffle boss, date with Andong.
Date with Andong. Sinong gustong So, free for all kahit wala kayong rank sa Discord. So ito guys, AMA naman to. Ang gawin naman natin para hindi masyadong mag-flood. Wala naman siguro mga level 1. Meron ba mga level 1 dito sa So, okay na siguro kahit level 1, isama na natin sila. At kung walang manalo na high level, pwede nating Yan, hindi pinaparaffle si Andeng guys ha. Si Andong ang pinaparaffle, hindi si Andeng. Yan.
Oo, mga 1 day silang magkasama.
Ay, hindi kaya yun. Baka matraumatize yun. Hindi kaya yun. Siguro, minuto lang. Kaya pa siguro pag minuto lang. Pero pag hours na, ganun. Baka matraumatize, baka hindi na makapag-play to earn. So ito guys, balik tayo dito sa ano natin. Di ba meron tayong Pinoy Henyo? Magsa-start ako dito sa Pinoy Henyo guys. Magsa-start ako. I-close ko muna dito. At ako yung magsa-start ng G's restart. Okay? Paano ba mag-start dito? Di ba G restart? Tapos kukunin natin kung sino yung hanggang matapos yung ano, yung unang mananalo, kasama yon, tapos magre-raise yung tatlo, iba-iba yung prices. So sa first ano guys, dito, kung hindi man live ito no, so dito kayo sa Pinoy Henyo, yan, pining ko kayo. Raffle in, wag muna mag-start ha, wag muna mag-start. So patayin ko muna tong ano, patayin ko muna. Sanay na sanay. Pinoy Henyo guys, punta kayo. Huwag munang i-restart kasi patayin ko muna yung access ha. Patayin ko muna yung access dito sa Pinoy Henyo. Hindi mo na kayo makaka-type. Yan. Baka kasi galawin ninyo yung bot na yan. So, i-GG restart ko yan guys. Tapos gawin natin. Yan. Pasok muna kayo. Pasok muna kayo. Pasok muna kayo dito. Raffle in 1 minute. Lagay natin ha. Raffle in 1 minute. Nakakapagod yung mga AMA na to. Andeng, dapat talaga andyan kayo sa mga AMA eh. Tapos,
Pwede ba mag-G.hint, boss?
ha? Huwag muna kasi moderator.
Pwede ba
ito pala.
maglalabas ng hint or bawal?
Oh, ito pala sa Ember Sword guys ha. I-clear ko lang kasi sabi ni Gabalicious, free to play ang Ember Sword. Ngayon, bakit kailangan yun ng backer ng mga guild? Para lang sa free alpha. Kunwari, ngayong taon, kasi next year pa yan lalabas kasi, free to play. Ngayong taon, magkakaroon yan ng free alpha. Para makasali kayo at malaro nyo ya. Yung free alpha kasi guys, pwede na tayong mag-mine or pwede na tayong manguha ng mga gandang mga items. At ano na yan, sa inyo na yan pag nakuha nyo yung mga items na yan or sa guild. Depende sa usapan nyo sa guild kasi pwede sila mamimigay ng pass para pag nilaro nyo ang Ember Sword is pag namin nakuha kayong item, di ba? Yung item na yan, valuable, pwedeng ibigay nyo sa guild. Pwedeng ganun yung usapan nyo dyan. Pero free to play naman ito. Ang kailangan natin ng land, ang badge natin na kailangan para sa free alpha lang. Para sa early stage. Ano yung sinasabi mo, Deng?
Yung sa Pinoy Henyo, boss. Pwede ba
Sa Pinoy.
mag-G.hint?
G.hint?
Oo. Or bawal mag-hint?
Okay lang yon. Pero pag nag-G.hint ka, nasa iyo yun kung hindi ka maunahan. Ganun lang naman eh.
Yun lang.
Di ba? Ganun lang naman eh. So ready na ba tayo? Marami nang nag-react dito guys. Ready na siguro ang iba.
33.
Ang karamihan na. Ready na siguro. So i-ready ko lang din yung G.restart ko. Ito po yung first guys ha. So lahat na manalo dito, 3 winners po, i-raise natin sila. Iba-iba lang yung magiging price nila. So para maiba yung ano natin, tapos ang iniisip ko nga dito guys, magkaroon tayo next time ng Minecraft server. Gagawa ko ng Minecraft server. Magbabakbaka naman tayo sa Minecraft. Totoong bakbaka na yung gawin natin. Hindi yung puro duck race lang na imaginary lang, di ba? So, doon magkakaroon kayo ng mga weapons, advantage siguro sa nagpapalakas talaga doon, pero magkakaroon kayo ng mga weapons, may parang ano din, parang anong tawag dito sa movie na yun, parang
Clash, parang magka-clash silang lahat doon.
doon sa arena, parang pwede na pala daw mag-farm ng NFT sa Ember Sword sa free alpha. Ay, sa pre-alpha. Kaya talagang pinaghahandaan yan ng guild. Kasi mga guild na malalaki guys talagang nagre-ready para sa pre-alpha na yan. Kasi nga, farming ng NFT. Okay? So sabi ni Ratsboy dito, may land ka sa Ember Sword. Meron akong land sa Ember Sword. Yung guild namin, may city. Lahat ng land na gusto mo, meron sa guild. Okay? Personally, meron akong land sa Ratsboy. Meron akong land sa Ember Sword.
Tsaka hindi basta-basta makabili niyan. Promise.
Oo, mahirap bumili ng land. Ngayon, bakit kailangan mo ng city? Bakit kailangan mo ng town? Bakit kailangan mo ng settlement? Kasi hindi ka makapag-craft sa sarili mong land eh. May requirements eh. Kunwari, ang crafting mo settlement lang. Ang crafting mo town lang. 'Di ba? Kunwari, ang kailangan mo is isang building na andun lang sa city. Tapos ang teleportation para makapunta ka dun sa ibang land ay sa ibang bahagi ng mundo, nasa city lang. Parang mga ganun. So may mga ganun siyang mga kung bakit mo kailangan ng land dito. Kasi yung personal mong land, baka wala doon sa gagamitin mo. So, in support sa guild, yung guild naman susuportahan ka naman. O anong guild ko daw sa Ember Sword? Seashore Salad. At yun nga, andyan kay Gabolicious, magtanong ka, nakapin yung Discord, pasukin mo yung Discord. Oh, may land daw pala at si Aratsboy, may land ako at badge. Actually, pwede ka naman bumili ng land ngayon kaso sobrang mahal kasi times, hindi ako nagkakamali, times 20 yata ang price ng land. So, pwede ka rin bumili. So, ako po ay nagbabalak pang magdagdag ng land at tignan natin. Pero malapit na kasi yung pre-alpha na yan. So, ready na sa Pinoy Henyo yung lahat, guys. Ito, wait lang ha. Huwag mo na mag-type pa. So, pakita natin dito para ano.
So, easy lang yung guild ni boss, which is the Seizure Salad.
Oo.
Marami
Oo.
sila doon.
Oo. Dahil, meron tayong backer doon eh. Siyempre, free to play. Ay, ano tawag dito? NFT pa rin yan. Kailangan mo yung mga mayayaman din, di ba? Kasi kung ikaw lang ganun. Pwede ka rin naman mag-join sa ibang mga guild kaso hindi Pinoy. Tapos ang connection mo ay depende sa connection mo rin kasi yan eh. At yun nga, ang may-ari, ang founder kasi nitong guild, siya yung founder ng Axie Capital, isa sa pinakamalaking Axie guild, yung Axie Capital. So tignan na lang yung Axie Capital na yan kung ano yan. At marami nga yan silang mga scholarship din, hindi lang yung Axie Capital. Oh, ito na tayo guys ha. Meron tayo dito mga nagre-react na dito naman sa Pinoy Henyo natin. So, i-enable ko na tong Pinoy Henyo bago ko i-type yung G-Restart. Ay hindi, ang gagawin ko na lang dito, hindi kayo pwedeng ito. Ay hindi, okay na pala eh. So ito ha, yan. So start na tayo guys in 3, in 2, in 1. Kung ready na lahat, ayan na po yung Pinoy Henyo ay nag-initialize na. So sino mauna kaya manalo, ita-type naman natin dito. Medyo clown. So hanggang sa dulo guys ha. Yung pinakamataas yung points. Hindi, yung pinakamataas yung points. Kasi point system yan eh. Ayan o, hanggang matapos. Yung point system yan. Ayan, so una, lagay natin dito ha. Picture.
Grabe, pabilisan eh.
Napakabilis. Go. So pagka hindi nila nasagutan yan, hindi sila makakasama dun sa ano. Tapos ang ibigay na lang natin, pera na lang yung ibigay natin. Hindi sila makakasama sa raffle.
Grabe, for the second picture, wala pa nakakatama.
So okay lang, pag natapos yung second picture na yan, kung sino yung first, siya yung blue heater, thermal heater. Antindi. Siret na daw.
Gusto niyo guys, G dati paunahan kayo.
Sige, pwede kayong G mag-hint kayo, pwede kayong ganun. Ayan, lapit na. So, ayan, pag ganyan, i-hint na natin na. Hint tayo in 3. Hindi ko na makita ang picture. Ayan. Ayan yung hint guys ha. Ayan yung hint.
Ayun, may nakaguess.
Oh, yun. May nakaguess. So, tignan natin ha.
Thermos bottle.
So, isa-stop ko rin naman to pag mayroon ng manalo eh. Para makita naman natin yung ano. Pwede ba to Ay, hindi pala.
1 point for Sidonia, 1 point for the Ration Ball Fall.
Oo.
And G.restart.
Hindi, wala pa. Hindi pa tapos eh.
Ayun na.
Huwag niyo restart. Kabayo. Meron na. Ala, pangalawa na ba siya? Uy, ayan na oh.
Oo,
2
boss.
points na
Pangalawa
si
na niya.
Sidonia.
Mm-mm. Ang bibilis. Dito mo talaga matitest kung mga keyboard warriors eh.
Meron na agad. Some to guard. Some to guard. So, pwedeng umabol lahat, guys, ha? Pwedeng umabol. Ano tong isa?
The
Ganyan na
Rachel,
lang.
whatever.
Ganyan na lang.
Ang bibilis. Okay, si Sync got a point.
Oh, si Sync. Hanggang hindi na nila maano. So, lahat pa may chance. Lahat may chance. Sunset. Kasi ang ano sa parang duck race, parang prone talaga sa bot eh, pag duck race eh. So pwedeng
Correct.
ano, ewan ko ako
Ma-RNG
namang,
eh. Lakas
Ko-
maka-RNG ng
oh, pero
iba
pwede
eh.
pa rin tayong mag-ganon pag marami tayong budget. Pwede pa rin
Another
tayong,
point for Sidonia.
oh, pwede pa rin tayong ilan na ba yun? 3 na. Grabe. Raven.
Right. T-shirt.
So, kung merong ang gawin natin ito para mabigyan agad ng winner pa lang dito. Kung top, kunwari first, second, third ka rito, yung first, pero kung merong kaparehas, kunwari 1-1-1-1 sila, tapos natalo
Correct.
na sila, tiebreaker natin doon naman sa duck race.
Yes. Nice one.
Di ko lang alam kung ilan makakasali sa Minecraft battle no. Kasi lahat naman kasi free Minecraft naman yan. Kawawa daw yung may 16 accounts sa Pinoy Henyo. Wala nang nagme-message sa comments sa YouTube.
Nandito na sila
May
eh.
customer kami, sabi ni Bora Bora. May customer kami. So, gaano kaya katagal to? So, kung mayroong tiebreaker, so si Donya, kung hindi siya malalampasan, ay panalo na siya. 3 ba naman? Grabe naman to si Donya. Talagang batak na patak dito sa Pinoy Henyo. Nawala daw yung picture. Di makita ang picture sa akin, sabi naman ni Linmar. Ang problema dito, Deng, merong mga naglo-loading pa lang yun sa phone nila. Hindi na nila. Yan, meron yan, hinint mo. Yan, maganda yan.
Ako na. Ako na
Oo.
magtatay.
Oy, grabe naman.
Grabe naman. Dapat pala hindi ko na lang
Grabe
tinanong.
naman.
Take
Bigyan
care
natin ng-
pala yun.
Ayan. Ayan, on track pa tayo. Basta pagka tiebreaker no, ang mga picture na yan. Lagyan natin ng presyo para motivated. Lagyan natin ng presyo
Alright, slightly pogi again.
Ha? Slightly
Nakatama na si
pogi?
Slightly
Wala
Pogi.
naman siya eh.
Monkey.
Nasa baba siya. Sa baba. So kung tiebreaker kayo, basta first, second, third tong manalo dito guys ha. Pero ito free for all na to, 'di ba? Kasi nasa Pinoy Henyo tayo. So kahit level 1 kayo, level 0 kayo, pwede. So kung mag 1-1 kayo dito, pwede rin. So ang gawin natin guys, ay,
May 1-1 pa almost, boss eh. Sana may 2. May mag-2 man lang. Tag-isa na sila, boss.
Ha?
Chicago got it.
oh si Jess. Gaano kaya katagal to? Hindi, pero natatapos to kasi grabe yan sila nung inopen ko. Uy, ako bakit? Kahit nag-open ako niyang Pinoy Henyo, kahit sobrang dami nila nung time na yon, meron pa rin hindi nakakuha.
Ako nga, pa-type pa lang ako, nakasagot na sila. My goodness.
Uy, si Singkulit. Oh, meron nang umangat.
Second na.
Meron nang umangat. Computing ko nga to. Wala na tayong pera. Dinagdagan ko to galing sa ano. Bigay ng Revolve. So kung 20, tapos yung isa 40. Tapos yung isa times 2 times 2. 60 plus 80. Uy, 140. Boom. Ito na lang para mas malaki. Tanggalin na natin tong 50.
Naitama nga ni One Piece.
One Piece? Wala eh. Wala.
Hindi na count.
Wala yun. Baka hindi umabot. Shua. Si Baby Boy. Alam ko mas mahal to eh. Search ko nga, baka mas mura.
Another points for Sidonia. So kahit pala naitama mo pero na-late ka, hindi yun counted.
Ganun.
Oo,
Di
kasi
baka
si One
ano
Piece
lang talaga.
nagkatama siya.
Pero mas maganda yung sa system na lang bahala kasi
Report Sidonia. Yung sabi na ni
5 points?
Jess.
Grabe naman. Report, gina-google ano eh. Uy, grabe naman yan. Sobra. Uy, sino tong isa? Aris. Tuna si Aris. Grabe tong labanan na to. Hindi ko expected na ganito chaotic. Chaotic tong. Akala ko walang kayang mag-solve kasi ayan Raven. Akala ko walang may kaya. Kasi sa dami nila. Loading pa lang pick, nasagot na agad. Yung matindi. Tapos next pa lang, super, grabe yung internet. Saan na ba si Sidonia? Saan kayong lugar to? Kasi sa Pilipinas, hindi pa nakikita yung pick. Nasagot na niya. Yan matindi. Pahirap
Sobrang
naman ang pahirap yan. So, yan kagaya niyan, boat. Hindi nila maano na boat yan. Kasi pag tumataas yung level niyan, pahirap na ng pahirap yan eh. Check ko nga dito sa Farmers World kung mahal pa ba yung silver membership para hindi na ako maglabas ng pera.
Anong tama nung boat na yun?
Ocean yun. So, pati ikaw, Andeng, pwede kang sumali ha.
Boss, gusto ko. Pero hindi naman ako makasagot.
Cornelius.
Yung pasagot pa ako.
Tama ba? Meron ng si Jess? Tuna si Jess? O ba't na si Cornelius hindi nasama?
Kasi may ranking, boss. Pag 1.1 points, mapupunta ka dito sa... meron na tayong third. May ranking siya eh. 3, 4, 5,
Kunin lang natin yung dulo. Kunin natin yung dulong ranking.
Oo. Top 10.
Top 10 tayo. So kahit ano pa yan, bahala na yung system dyan. I-blame nyo sa system. Pero mukhang hindi naaabot yung mga 1 kasi may 4 na 2 eh. Di ba?
Correct.
So dapat mag-2 kayo. Pero lahat nga ay may pag-asa pa. Yun yung maganda dito. Yun guys, mas mahal pa rin ang silver membership sa ngayon. So meron tayong 1,000 pieces, meron tayong 2,000 pieces, at meron tayong around 3,000 plus pieces na silver membership. Ito yung silver membership. Lolo. Napalitan. Okay, yan. Nagkakagulo na po. Meron tayong 59 viewers. Nag-rug pull na yung mga hindi kinaya makasali dito sa Pinoyenyo. Medyo nagkakagulo yung mga Pinoyenyo natin. Wala pa ba nanalo? Grabe pala tong labanan na to. You don't have hints to spend. Meron ba tayong hint?
Tinawag nila ako eh. Si Coach.
Yun!
Oh, at sabi ni si Donya, "Hi mom, I'm on TV."
Yun. So, off na natin to para hindi na
Off
makapag
na.
ano. Off na natin to. Yan, naka-off na siya. So, tignan natin ha.
Top 3.
Hindi, yung dulo. So, hindi yung top 3, yung dulo. Meron yung dulo eh. Ito. May kita din natin yung grabe naman pala to. Ito. So, ito yung final natin guys ha. Walang daya yan guys ha. Yan yung final natin. Siyempre, alam naman natin, manalo dyan is C. Ito, lagay natin. Si Donya. Ay. Tapos ang kasunod natin si Sync na may 2. So lahat ng 1 out na to. Paalam mga 1, wala tayong magawa. System yan ha. Si Jess may 2, si Raven may 2, si God Aris may 2, si Sync may 2. So itong tatlo guys, meron na tayong nanalo. Congratulations sa iyo si Donya. Isa kang pinalad ng silver membership. Nagkakahalaga ngayon. Tinignan ko dito sa make sure ko na mas mahal siya. $67. At for sure, pag binenta mo ng konting mas mababa yan, ay mas mahal yan. Okay? Silver membership. Pwede mong ipalit yan sa iba, di ba? Pwede mong ibenta yan sa iba or what. Basta yan natin bibigay sa first winner. Mas mahal pa rin siya kaysa sa 1,000, kaysa sa 2,000 natin. At yun nga guys, ito naman, itong tatlo, ay ready ko lang yung duck race natin. The duck race naman natin to guys. Ito per naman tayo. So, ano ba to? Naka to? Yan, naka-premium na to guys ha. The duck race naman natin to, pero hindi tayo duck race syempre kasi tatlo lang kayo na winner. Ibahin natin dito. Masakit sa ulo yung Pinoyenyo. Sabi naman ni MCN, masakit daw sa ulo. Ako nga din sumakit ulo ko, hindi na ako magsalita at galing pa tayo dun sa nosebleed, di ba? So na nosebleed na tayo kanina, to sumakit pa yung ulo natin ngayon. Napakahirap ng ginagawa natin sa buhay natin. Feb 14 pa naman.
Masakit pa, boss. Mas sasakit pa ulo mo pag Vietnamese.
Ayun, mas grabe yun. Kahit kahit sila, buti yung kanina tuloy-tuloy, no? Meron talagang ang hirap talaga. So ito, hindi pa to, bago to guys. So ngayon ko lang nakita to. Bago to para sa event na to. Itong mga aso na to, meron tayong may tiebreaker pa raw pala. Wait, akala niya panalo niya, sabi niya. May tiebreaker pa, yung apat nating top. Siyempre, manalo dito dalawa lang. Kasi ito po yung price natin guys. So, nakuha na yung silver membership ni Sidonia. Makukuha pa yung $40. So, lagay natin dito. Siya na yung panalo. At mamaya sa Discord ay tingnan natin yan kung sino yan siya. Meron pa dalawang spot guys. At ito nga, paparaffle naman natin ngayon. At paparaffle natin ng 1 minute. 1 minute lang tayo para medyo mabilis lang at kailangan na po natin magtapos. 9:30 na po. 2 hours na dito naman sa live natin. Set na po natin yan. Shuffle lang natin konti para sabihin natin na hindi tayo nandaya. Shuffle pa natin konti. Medyo pangit ang kulay ng mga aso. At yan nga guys. Start na po natin 3, in 2, in 1. Sino kaya manalo dito sa race na to? At medyo nakakatawa itong race na to guys. At nauna ngayon si Sidonia. Ang kasunod naman ngayon si Jess. Yan. So kasunod naman niya si Raven. Nasa huli si God Aris guys. Para alam naman natin pag nahuli ka dito sa mga race na to, ikaw naman yung biglang magbubooster. At kung nauna ka naman sa mga race na to guys, ikaw naman yung magra-rag pull sa huli. Kagaya po ng ibang game nyo ngayon, di ba? Yung race to rag pull, parang ganun din po yan guys. Makakapag ROI kayo si God Aris. Si Sync naman ay umatras na. Ang kasunod naman niya, siya na yung pinakahuli guys. Si Sync na. Si Jess naman yung nanguna. Pero may pag-asa pa si Sync kasi pag huli ka dito ay bigla kang magbuboost booster naman sa dulo at nanguna ngayon si Raven, kasunod niya si Gadaris at medyo naunahan na siya ni Gadaris, bumibilis na si Gadaris pero 10 seconds sa shot clock, bumibilis si Jess. Sino kaya magiging first? Sino kaya magiging second? So yung dalawa pwede pa makabol. Si Sync medyo bumibilis guys, kaya pa kaya niyang maging top 2, hindi kinaya ni Sync at tignan natin kung sinong panalo dito medyo hindi natin kita dito, so tignan na lang natin dito sa so una si Jess, kasunod naman si Raven. So yan po yung mga nanalo guys at congratulations sa mga nanalo. Wala pala kayong music, ako lang pala may music, hindi ko pala na-on yung pinakano dito. So,
matinding dasal ang ginamit ni Jess.
Oh, grabe si Jess, nanalo si Jess guys. Siya naman yung sa 40. BS ito mamaya kukunin ko yung mga ninyo. Si Raven na lang, pa-DM na lang ng Yan, si Raven naman dito. So yan po yung mga winners natin guys at isisend ko. Wax naman kay si Donya. At kung hindi nyo alam yung wax ay mag-search na kayo or sa iba nyo ipasend. Send nyo na lang yung Gcash nyo sa magsasend sa inyo. So yan lang po yung live natin at yun nga, sabi ko nga ng dati, di ba? Last word, parang kakatayin, last word. So may last word ka ba, Andeng, bago tayo magtapos?
Happy Valentine's Day sa inyo
Yun,
lahat. Night pala. Happy Valentine's Night.
Happy Valentine's Night daw sa lahat. At alam naman natin yung iba, bakit nandito ay, yung iba nasa abroad, di ba? Hindi, meron naman, pero nasa abroad yung iba. Yun nga yung karamihan dito. Actually, yun yung nakikita ko sa Discord. Karamihan nasa abroad. At yun nga, di ba? Marami dyan. Rag pull daw utak sa Pinoy Henyo. Na rag pull yung utak sa Pinoy Henyo. Sabi naman ni Ferdinand Cambao. So maraming salamat guys. Maraming salamat Andeng. Puntahan niyo po yung channel ni Andeng guys. Andeng Soles. Meron po siyang mga dyan. Meron siyang mga Nineko content, meron siyang mga Wonder Hero content. Wala siyang mga rag pull content. Yun ang maganda sa channel niya guys. Puntahan niyo po. Marami kayong matututunan dyan sa channel niya. At bago tayo magtapos, shoutout lang din dito naman kay Troj na nagbigay ng 75. Pwede na pala mag-donate, no? Ano ba yung donation ba? Yung membership? Donation yata. So, hindi ko siya maklik. Hindi lumalabas dito sa stream ko, Troj. Pero maraming salamat kay Troj. Meron siyang 75 pieces dito. Question sa AMA boss. Walang race. Yan. Ito si Troj. So, 75 pieces. Galing kay Troj. Shiba Dog moves his arm saying goodbye. Sabi naman ni Troj. So, hindi ko naintindihan kung anong sinasabi niya. Basta yan po yung sinasabi niya. Gamit naman itong 75 pieces niya. Ito pala yung aso. Ito pala yung aso guys. So, dito kasi sa niya, pakita ko lang yan. Pag clinic ko doon, yun yung lumalabas. So ito pala yan. So nag-buy lang pala siya. Naglagay lang pala siya ng sticker. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Troj. At yan naman yung stream natin for tonight. Sana po ay nag-enjoy kayo. At marami kayong natutunan. Classroom. Marami kayong nakuhang information about naman dito sa Revolve Games. At syempre po, yung mga shinil nating mga project puntahan nyo na rin yan guys. Para naman ay masuportahan din tayo ng mga community na yan. Tapos, yun lang po sa stream natin. Pero ito mga pinapakita namin guys ay lagi ko pa rin sasabihin sa inyo at lagi nga namin sinasabi sa inyo na mga investment nyo po yan, pinapakita lang po namin para magkaroon kayo ng idea, di ba? Kaysa kung saan nyo ito mapanood ay dapat ay yung mga napapanood natin bago tayo tumalpak, maging responsible po tayo sa mga investment naman po natin. At kung wala tayong sasabihin guys, at yun nga, pa-like na rin po, pa-share tong video na to after, at pa-like din po at pa-share yung mga video naman ni Andeng. Yan lang po muna sa ngayon guys. Huwag niyo po kalimutan mag-subscribe sa aming channel kasi dalawa na kami. At syempre, paki-like na rin po at share. At yung notification bell guys, pa-hit din naman para lagi naman kayong updated sa mga usapang play to earn at mga NFTs. Paki-like na rin po at share tong video. Yan lang po muna sa ngayon. See ya guys.